Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Pirates, starting Holy Lord Template, executing the Celestial Dragons. Chapter 41. Fur People. They live in the Zou Kingdom and are regarded as a legendary race by the world. Because the elephant owner walks on the sea all day long. As a result, if you want to go to the Zou Kingdom, you must chase it non-stop. He is born with the ability to master thunder and lightning attacks, as well as the ability of Moon Leo. It is claimed that even children can fight. It can be said that they are the fighting clan of New World. Because the two kings of the fur tribe were arguing endlessly. During the day, Duke Inarishi, as the king of day, is in charge of the musketeers. At night, the cat viper is the king of the night and is in charge of the knights. The sea was churning, rolling up huge waves. A giant elephant walks in the blue sea. The demon king docked here, and looking up, one couldn't help but feel shocked. There are actually creatures in the world that are taller than the Poseidon-like overlords. What kind of monster is this? Khalifa was stunned. Take off. Yi Zhou pressed his hand on the deck of the Demon King. The demonic energy of the moon was activated, and the entire ship was suspended in the air at an alarming speed. Stop. With an emergency stop, the Demon King fell outside the furry Zou Kingdom. The people here are extremely disgusted with human beings because of the high prices for fur tribes auctioned on the sea. Stop. This is the furry kingdom. Humans are not allowed to move forward. The fur tribe guard just spoke. The king bird of the musketeers, Wanda the dog and Garrett the rabbit appeared on the city wall. They acted quickly to report this incident to Duke Inarishi and the three musketeers of the musketeers. Hey, he ran pretty fast. Yi Zhou ignored everyone's obstruction and stepped into the furry kingdom alone. Be quiet and rest. Conqueror's domineering power swept out. Only a few of the fur tribe are left awake. Duke Inarishi and Rabbit Garrett. One is that Inarishi reluctantly persists. After all, he has the strength of 3 disasters. The other garrote was given by Yi Zhou on his own initiative. Wanda. Garrett looked at Wanda, who was walking on the road next to him but suddenly fainted, and observed his surroundings without realizing it. No need to look for it, Garrett. Inarishi came out with his sword. Even the 3 musketeers in the room were unconscious. He glanced at the newspaper in his hand, and then looked at Garrett, the only one who was awake. He already guessed in his mind who the visitor was and what his purpose was. The unparalleled conqueror's hockey. Keep the beautiful woman from coma. And you can still fly to the Zou Kingdom on a ship. On the sea, this man's reputation is known to everyone. Demon King Yi Zhou, who claims that when the Tianlong people come, they will have to fight with each other. Demon King. Duke Inarishi walked out of the hall, with the worried Garrett always following behind him. Until I saw Yi Zhou and his party. It is indeed Demon King Yi Zhou. Inarishi blocked Garrett behind him. Armed domineering energy covers the blade, and electric current also gathers. Don't even think about taking any of the fur tribe away from me. Whoosh. This sword used all his strength. When he was young, he had the honor to meet Roger One Piece and Whitebeard Newgate. He also went to sea and experienced hardships. He knew that the man in front of him was definitely a legendary powerhouse that could not be ignored. But in order to protect the fur tribe, he will fight to the death. Tina. Escort. Yi Zhou picked up Tina and threw her out, trying to block it with the ability of the threshold fruit. What are you doing? Tina almost dropped the cigarette from her mouth. She never expected Yi Zhou to do this. Boom. The two exchanged blows, and Tina instantly felt the strong pressure from Inarishi. With her current strength, she can only lose. Interesting. Yi Zhou stepped forward and moved his fingertips slightly. A meteorite fell from the sky. Hit Inarishi impartially. The demonic energy of the moon, the power of gravity. What ability is this? Inarishi knocked Tina away and slashed at the meteorite in the air. Although the demonic energy of the moon has not yet been fully activated, it is enough to achieve this. Yi Zhou clapped his hands calmly and was about to catch Garrett. Then Inarishi's voice was heard. The meteorite was split in half through the air and fell into the sea. The clothes on his body were burned, and he looked at Yi Zhou with a charred face. Stop, you outsider, don't even think of harming my fur tribe. Oh, then give me a few more. Yi Zhou put his fingers together. 3 meteorites fell from the sky. What are you going to do to stop me this time? Yi Zhou looked at Duke Inarishi with interest. Hateful. Inuarashi jumped up. After slashing out his sword, he could only cut through one at most. When the time comes, the Zou kingdom will be in a mess when attacked by 2 meteorites. Dare to be arrogant in my furry kingdom. A figure appeared from the forest. He flipped around a few times and jumped up with a double-edged fork. When the second one fell to pieces, he and Inuarashi looked at each other again, and worked together to crush the third one. You're still as annoying as ever. Cat Viper glanced at Inuarashi and complained. Really, you too. Inuarashi looked at Neko Viper, who was still yawning tiredly. Blocked again. Yi Zhou was too lazy to play. He simply shook his hands. Cat Viper, Inuarashi looked up. The sky was rendered blood red. Meteorites broke through the sky one after another, there were 10 in total. What exactly are you going to do? Neko Viper and Inuarashi felt a kind of extreme despair. Yi Zhou snapped his fingers. Freeze all the meteorites in the sky. Garlot, we need a pet on board, and you are a perfect fit. Come with me to the sea and take you to see the world. Yi Zhou stretched out his hand. It's like Whitebeard inviting someone to be his son. Even Neko Viper and Inuarashi were in a trance for a while. If I refuse, will you let these meteorites fall down? Garrett looked at Yi Zhou, his big eyes flashing. There seemed to be tears rolling in his eyes. Sure, Yi Zhou did not deny that he was a pirate and the devil of the sea. Garlot, no, Inuarashi and Neko Viper said in unison. Why can't they always protect what they want to protect? Demon King, I am willing to join your pirate group. Garrett wiped away his tears and tiptoed towards Yi Zhou. Yi Zhou smiled when he heard this. Really? Then you are free. Ding. Side mission completed. Looking for pet rabbit Garrett. Task reward. The moon formation is opened. Yi Zhou glanced at the sky. It was still daytime, otherwise he could see the moon turning dark in an instant. In an instant, it returned to normal. Collect all 8 demonic energies and give host the body of a demon king. The body of the devil. All attributes such as strength, speed, defense, etc. are doubled. Hidden chain mission has been started. Conquer the Zou kingdom and bring the fur tribe under your command. Task reward. Advanced insight, color and dominance, the voice of all things. Yi Zhou, who has just opened the demon king's body, has not yet fully adapted. I received a brand new mission. Hidden mission. This was the first time Yi Zhou saw mission types other than the main line and branch lines. And it's a chain level as soon as it appears. Can I really not join the pirate group? Garrett was surprised and delighted. Of course. Yi Zhou smiled and looked at Inulan and Cat Viper. Because what I want to destroy now is the entire Zou kingdom. Destroy it, I'm tired. No crew is needed anymore. Quote. Yi Zhou was about to move his fingers. Neko Viper and Inuarashi drew their swords. As a result, he was easily stopped by the Empress, Momoshiki. Don't even think about stopping the captain from taking action. The Empress said coldly, Fur tribe. She doesn't care. I don't know what the captain is going to do though. But this is a rare opportunity to peek into the secrets of the fur people. Quote. Momoshiki was wearing the clothes of a dancing girl and blocked Inuarashi with a sword. Demon King, when did my fur tribe offend you? Inuarashi was puzzled. Even if he wanted to kill him, he had to understand that he should die. Because I'm bored, I want to destroy something. Yi Zhou flicked his finger and added dozens more meteorites. This scene completely made Neko Viper and Inuarashi lose hope. How do they understand? Yi Zhou's demonic energy of the moon has just been fully activated. Compared to the other 7 demonic energies, it is not far behind. It can even affect the ebb and flow of the tide. This is not the limit of the meteorites he can throw down in one breath. By the way, it's time for the historical text of your fur clan's defense to see the light of day again. Yi Zhou snapped his fingers. 100 meteorites added. How do you know the text of history? Duke Inuarashi looked at Yi Zhou and felt incredible. His ambition is not Gallo, but the text of history. Cat Viper is facing a powerful enemy, but unfortunately he is no match for it. Either surrender. You fur people are loyal to me and will follow me to attack all nations and the Kingdom of Harmony in the future. Or be destroyed. From then on, it disappeared into ashes, the historical text is mine, and Gallo took it with him. Quote. Yi Zhou didn't explain much. He walked directly towards the forest. The historical text is hidden here. Robin, Betty and others followed immediately. He doesn't even want to talk about it. Cat Viper was helpless, with beads of sweat on his forehead. Lord Demon King, you said you want to attack Wano country. Inuarashi found a blind spot. His name for Ijo also changed quietly. Probably the first to attack all nations. I'm missing a juicer. Oh, the memory master of the three-eyed clan is also good. Quote. Ijo walked towards the forest without looking back. Neko Viper and Inuarashi looked at each other. After confirming it, he looked at the densely packed meteorites in the sky. We are willing to join the Demon King's command and conquer all nations and the Kingdom of Harmony. They want revenge. The four emperors are the only ones in this world who can defeat them. Bigmom took away decades of Pedro's life. Kaido took everything from them. It's up to you, I have to read the historical text first. The corners of Ijo's mouth rose. He knew that strong strength was the foundation. Inuarashi and Cat Viper have no hope of revenge and are on the verge of life and death, so they naturally want to find hope. Ding! The Hidden Chain mission has been completed. Conquer the Zou Kingdom and bring the Fur tribe under its command. Task reward. Advanced insight, color and dominance, the voice of all things. Ijo felt that he seemed to hear some unusual sounds. His heartbeat slowed down. Hidden Chain mission has been started. Conquer the Elephant Master and become its new master. Mission reward. Advanced armed color hockey Iron Fist. ... Oh, Iron Fist. The corresponding one should be Garp's Iron Fist title. Then this means that the strongest armed color is domineering. Ijo was very satisfied with this mission reward. Right now, he just has too many skills and doesn't put too much pressure on himself. No matter how strong Garp is, he will never lose to him with all his firepower. 8 demonic energies, the body of the Holy Lord, the body of the Demon King, and 12 talismans. Even if you don't use domineering power, you can still sweep the new world. Deep in the forest, a huge historical text appears before our eyes. Neko Viper, Inuarashi, and Garrett are all following behind the Demon King pirates. Robin slowly explained the content. Ijo didn't take it seriously at all. Instead, he kept listening to the voice from the elephant owner. Is there an intruder? He summoned the meteorite. You can hear me, I feel your breath. The Elephant Lord can indeed resonate with people who possess the domineering spirit of seeing, hearing and coloring the voice of all things. I am the intruder you are talking about. The meteorite was also summoned by me. I can hear you, Lord. Quote. Ijo's words while standing in front of the historical text made both Malviper and Quan Lan look at each other. They didn't expect that Ijo was talking to the elephant owner. This is absolutely impossible, Ijo must be muttering to himself. Why, with the qualifications of a king, you shouldn't be like this. In the eyes of the Elephant Master, only one who awakens to the voice of all things can be considered a true king. This is the same as those overlords holding Noah in the Poseidon class. To them, the true king among mankind, it must be a being that awakens the voice of all things. Lord Elephant, do you want to surrender to me and set foot on the Red Earth continent? Ijo asked the Elephant Master. A cruel king. It's impossible to get my approval. You are not the real master. The elephant owner refused. In his opinion, Ijo was unparalleled and had awakened his qualifications as a king. But it was still not the person he was waiting for. Good. Ijo held it with his empty hand. Hundreds of meteorites hit the elephant owner's head and limbs. Boom. A huge explosion sounded. Cat Viper and Inu Lan looked at Ijo, full of worry. This moment, Robin also stopped interpreting the historical text. Obviously the battle between Ijo and Shang Master was even more thrilling. He is really a cruel person, the elephant owner replied. But he had been ordered by his master. You have to walk on the sea all your life without attacking. At this moment, he was unable to dodge the attack and was immediately injured. I almost kneeled into the sea. Blood on the wound Madara Madara. The elephant owner has never been so seriously injured as at this moment. But for him, it is not fatal. Then you have no possibility of fighting back. The sea is very cruel. Ijo drives the demonic energy of water. Originally, the Elephant Master's body was already extremely tall. But I saw an unprecedented huge wave set off on the sea. This is far more fierce and taller than the waves caused by the Junjun fruit. Driving the sea. The elephant owner couldn't believe that there would be someone who could summon meteorites and command the sea. This power was beyond the reach of even his former master. Boom! The water is as tall as the Lord. With this blow, he, who was already injured, was likely to sink to the bottom of the sea. At the critical moment, in order to protect the Zhou kingdom and the historical text hidden there, the elephant owner roared angrily. He violated the test and the trunk was thrown out. Break the waves in an instant. Lord Elephant, you have violated your oath. It means you are a masterless existence. And I command you. Elephant Lord, surrender to me. Yi Zhou's words shocked the elephant owner. He broke his oath. But why did Yi Zhou know? Who are you? The cruel devil. The ancient secrets have long been unknown. What do you want my power to do again? The elephant owner felt that Yi Zhou knew a lot and might even be an ancient existence. Step onto the Red Continent and conquer the sea. Create a world that belongs to the Demon King. Wow! In the sea water, the Poseidon overlords follow Shirahoshi. Elephant Master, long time no see. Are you guys okay? The elephant owner is incredible. Why do these old Poseidon guys gather around the brutal king? Our king followed the new king. Elephant Master, why are you so stubborn? New king. The elephant owner was in disbelief. In his opinion, Yi Zhou was a violent maniac. A real big devil. Do you still want to wait another 1,000 years? Poseidon class overlords, you and I blame the elephant master. Is this what the new king actually is? After the elephant owner heard about Yi Zhou's deeds, he was stunned for a while. Was it really him who was wrong? They're talking. Shirahoshi's head hurt, and she heard the Poseidon chatting with the elephant master. Like reminiscing about old times. Don't be afraid, I'm here. Yi Zhou touched her big head. Instead, release your own conqueror's dominance. Boom! The powerful domineering force was released. Along with tsunamis, thunder and lightning, dark clouds and storms come together. The elephant owner saw these natural disasters that could destroy the world. Finally he sighed and said, New king, please allow me to apologize. It shook its body. Yi Zhou's attack of 100 meteorites and huge sea waves were all effective. But I can no longer stand still, once I fall into the sea. The creatures on my back will be destroyed. New king, please protect them. Quote. The elephant owner was about to fall into the sea, and the Poseidon overlords wanted to rescue him. But compared to the elephant owner, they are all like small fishes. The pirate overlord is about 5,000 meters long, and the elephant lord plus its legs in the sea is 35,000 meters long. Even the size on the sea is beyond the reach of Poseidon-like overlords. Death, it's not that easy. The power of the Yi Zhou horse talisman explodes. Immediately, a steady stream of people poured into the back of the elephant master. The 12 talismans consume not the owner's power. Yi Zhou is also unharmed when used. The strong vitality caused the elephant owner's injuries to the limbs, head, and trunk to heal quickly. Its staggering figure suddenly froze. Incredible standing on the ocean. What a powerful healing power. New king, you are so kind. Please call me the Demon King. Yi Zhou didn't appreciate this very much. Ding! The hidden chain mission has been completed. Conquer the elephant owner and become its new master. Mission reward. Advanced Armed Color Hockey Iron Fist. Armed Hockey is behind Liu Ying. The new, Iron Fist, is also integrated into the body. Yi Zhou clenched his fists with satisfaction. I really want to find someone to try my fist with. Side mission has been started. Go to Beehive Island, defeat the big One Piece plant, and have a place to station. Mission reward. Holy Grail of Life Perfect Edition. ... Isn't this an artifact from the world of 12 talismans? As long as you drink the water from the Holy Grail of Life, you can stay young forever. But if you don't drink for a while, it will change back. Mission rewards emphasize, perfect version. This means that it has become an artifact that truly keeps people young forever. Let's just give it a reward. Instead, Yi Zhou was more interested in occupying Beehive Island. The Holy Grail of Life is not as effective as the dog spell, so it doesn't matter to him. Lord Demon King, when the decisive battle begins, I will follow you to the death. The elephant owner first surrenders in his heart before admitting it with his mouth. I'll call you when the time comes to shake people. Yi Zhou felt that there should be no phone bugs in the world that the elephant master could use. He stopped chatting with the elephant owner. Looking around, everyone was stunned. Has the Elephant Lord surrendered? This kind of behemoth is enough to destroy the world. Surrender when you say surrender. The power that Yi-Jo burst out just now was frightening. Neko Viper and Inu Arashi were secretly shocked. It turns out that those meteorites are just water to Yi-Jo. Momoshiki, Tina, and Tashi even swallowed their saliva. They can only hope in their hearts that Marine Headquarters will never send anyone to rescue them. Betty was even more convinced by Yi-Jo and understood Long's good intentions. What are you looking at? It's an honorific. Yi-Jo gave an order. Everyone said in unison, Big boss, eat something. After we have a good rest, we go to attack the camp. Quote. Neko, Viper, and Inuarashi immediately started to move. Garrett, who was paying close attention to the whole process, had his heart beating wildly. Isn't this the adventure she was looking forward to? The sea is so breathtaking. Demon King Yi-Jo made the entire fur tribe, Zuowu Kingdom, and even the Elephant Lord surrender. This is the strong man she imagined. Late at night. Bonfire party. The fur people wake up from their coma. When they learned that they had a new king, Cat Viper and Inu Arashi were no longer arguing, and were overjoyed. The grand banquet begins. Yi-Jo didn't expect that the fur tribe also had their own unique wine. He drank it all in one gulp and feasted on it. The body grows again. The mountain's demonic aura increased until it reached a height of 5.5 meters. What kind of monster is our demon king? Both the musketeers and the knights were speculating on Yi-Jo's strength. It wasn't until I heard Garrett's vivid description that I was scared to death. Hundreds of meteorites make the elephant owner afraid. The more they listened, the more confused they became. Could it be that Garrett was making it up? Besides, the only one who could understand what the elephant master was saying was Yi-Jo. Outsiders can only get a glimpse of the elephant owner's emotions through his roars of anger, fear, etc. Don't you believe it? I will definitely go to see. Garrett held the little rabbit's paw tightly and couldn't help himself with happiness. The next day, the Demon King flew out of the elephant master's back, sailing into the sea. It wasn't until they were far away that a cautious figure walked out. Kuruchiu, Kuruchiu. Garrett surrounded everyone and was still rubbing his face until Yi-Jo stood in front of him. She was worried that Yi-Jo would refuse to take her out to sea. Congratulations, Garrett. Yi-Jo didn't feel the slightest bit disgusted. He had already thought of a way out for Garrett. A target fruit appears in the hand. From now on you will be our pet rabbit and sniper on the ship. It tastes bad. Garrett thought this was some delicious fruit. Unexpectedly, the taste was not good at all, it was simply unpalatable. How do I become a sniper? Kuruchiu. For Garrett, Yi-Jo is the captain she admires most. Whatever, just find the enemy you want to attack, find an object and throw it out. Yi-Jo gave her a target fruit. Isn't that the best fruit of being a sniper? But I want to hit the enemy 100%. You just need to touch the enemy first. Quote. Paramesha all have their own properties. The same goes for Bug's target fruit. We have the staring violet fruit and the invisible fruit Rebecca on our ship. There is the teleportation fruit Dasky, and the threshold fruit Tina. They are my royal guards. You can let them cooperate and achieve perfect sniping. Yi-Jo shook the bottle, returned to the cabin and fell asleep. This time he gained 3 advanced levels of awakened domineering power. All the 8 demonic energies are gathered together, and the Demon King's body is also quite powerful. Just getting used to it on the way to Beehive Island. I will definitely work hard. Garrett shook the rabbit's paw. She thought for a moment and only brought a large bag of carrots, but she didn't know if it would be enough to eat. Future Kingdom. The 70-year-old Black Arm Zephyr has just replaced the Halushi robotic arm, a crusher. In 5 years, he will defect from Marine. Now, he is still one of them, but he seems increasingly powerless. Teacher, our battleship is ready and the pirate pursuit team has been formed. Blue-haired Ain wearing black stockings and Bins carrying 2 swords stood at the door. The pirate pursuit team is the predecessor of Neo Marine. Zephyr walked out of the laboratory and said goodbye to Vegapunk and other experimenters. The newspaper in his hand also unfolded. A reward order fell to the ground. Demon King Yi-Jo first offered a bounty of 3.999 billion Baileys. Just clinging to the last point. Once you step in, you will be the real emperor of the sea. Look for news about him. Yi Zhou in Zepha's eyes is the source of all chaos in the New World. Beehive Island. The Rocks Pirates' headquarters was erased from history by the world's government. The famous pirate paradise, the origin of pirate games. 3 of today's 4 emperors all originated from the Rocks Pirates. Even now, the legendary giant One Piece plant occupies Beehive Island. Back then, the Rocks Pirates broke up on the Island of Gods. Captain Rocks dies. Captain John took away the immeasurable treasure of the Rocks Pirates and died a violent death. Wang Ji stayed and dominated Honeycomb Island overtly and covertly. The Demon King docked here swaggeringly. As a pirate paradise, it is not unusual to have an additional pirate ship. It would only be noticeable if there were more than one battleship. The huge skull looked down at the sea, as if shouting, smiling jokingly. Behind Yi Zhou were a cloud of beauties. Walking in this pirate's paradise, it immediately attracted countless eyes. Wang Ji, get out! Yi Zhou shouted with a loud voice. Conqueror's domineering energy burst out in an instant. A fool watching a show. Are they worthy? 9 black shadows appeared and dragged all the pirates away. Slaughter, kill, kill. In less than 10 minutes, I sneaked into the Shadow Empire again. Coupled with the 3 witches and more than 10 squad leaders, it is a real 4 emperors group configuration. No matter how strong Wang Ji is, he can't compete with the real 4 emperors. He is just a goalkeeper after all. You wanna die? A bearded man came towards me. His cold eyes stared at Yi Zhou. Demon King, you deserve such a title. Wang Ji said fiercely. There are only 2 beings who can be called kings, one is Rocks and the other is Roger. King of the world Rocks. One Piece Roger. It seems that Wang Ji is fond of both 4 emperors and Yi Zhou. Not even the slightest fear. Emperor of the sea. Are there still few emperors in New World? After all, it's just about dominating one side. Only a king can dominate an era. I don't have much time to argue with you. I'm interested in this. Yi Zhou's body was filled with domineering energy. He had long wanted to try out how powerful he would be when all 3 major hegemons were awakened at a high level. The Iron Fist covers Liu Ying. Ba Tang fuses knowledge and kills. Predicting the future and super distance. There is also an increase in the sound of all things. Roar, a roar. Yi Zhou opened the body of the Holy Lord at the same time. The orc form that uses the monkey charm to transform into the form of a blue dragon. Coupled with the double attribute increase of the Demon King's body. Powerful, an unprecedented power. Yi Zhou, who is over 5 meters tall due to the demonic energy of the mountain, is already a monster among men. Not to mention the full state. In all directions of Honeycomb Island, black shadows appeared. Ninjas, samurai, trolls, and shadow eaters occupy every path. Thorn blades, hunting pincers, alien shapes, and mantis shapes are unpredictable and hide in the streets. Night bats hung in the air, hovering and covering the entire Beehive Island. Wang Ji glanced at it. Yi Zhou was so domineering that he stunned all his subordinates. Wang Ji, now is my time. The rumors are true. Wang Ji only said this sentence. His advantage is gone, and now he can only fight to the death. Boom! The 2 fists collided for the first time. Wang Ji couldn't bear it even for a moment. He flew backwards like a cannonball. Embedded in the wall, a ruin is covered in dust. Puff! 1 punch. He couldn't bear just 1 punch. How can it be? Wang Ji was vomiting blood, and his fisting arm was useless. Yes, it is indeed a little bit stronger. Yi Zhou remembers that he needed the blessing of demonic energy when he fought Garp. Now, all it takes is dominance and strength to win. Boom! Step on. Wang Ji's head exploded like a rubber ball. This island belongs to us from now on. Let's clean it up and get rid of all the outsiders. Yi Zhou waved his hand casually. The Shadow Corps was hiding in the dark again. Master Captain, if we are stationed here, it means we need a lot of resources. You must contact the Dark Emperors of the New World and exchange resources from them on time. Quote. Khalifa stepped forward, and her words made Yi Zhou frown. Still contacting them, Yi Zhou was very unhappy. Ding. Side mission completed. Dominate Beehive Island. Mission reward. Holy Grail of Life Perfect Edition. He holds the Holy Grail of Life. He filled a glass of strong wine and handed it to the Empress. The latter just paused and drank it all in one gulp. Trigger side mission. Dominate the dark world and make all dark emperors surrender within 3 days. Task reward. Shiva's bracelet perfect version. ... Another artifact from the world of 12 talismans. After wearing it, 2 hands can become 4 hands. Yi Zhou doesn't care about this. He possesses the demonic energy of the moon, and Jolin, the demon of the moon, has 4 hands. He could always grow it out. When you get it, you will have 6 hands. Another useless thing. Yi Zhou doesn't understand what's the use of having so many hands. Is it used to release demonic energy? Whoosh! With a thought in his mind, the bat wings of the sky demon Zimu grew out from behind him. Plus Curse Blue's other 2 little hands. Wearing the robes of the 8 demons. Yi Zhou, who returned to his normal human form, also had the horns of the earth demon Dekui growing on his head. He sits on a high throne. 2 small hands held up his cheeks, and the other 2 big hands waved. Khalifa, let the ants of darkness come to me. If they don't come after 1 day, they will all be killed. If he doesn't come after 3 days, his ashes will be scattered. Quote. In the new world, the king is above all emperors. As you command. Khalifa was shocked by Yi Zhou's powerful aura. He quickly picked up the phone and contacted Zhang. At this time, everyone was surprised by the empress. After she drank the strong wine that the holy grail of life passed through. The whole person's posture and appearance are fixed at the peak state. Even the giant peaks with many mountains have been upgraded accordingly. Does this still have any effect? Yi Zhou also didn't expect that the perfect version of the holy grail of life meant this. Even Rabbit Gallo activated the Moon Leo state after drinking it in 1 gulp. And it is completely rational and does not suffer any losses. Khalifa. Vivi drank a drink and handed it to Khalifa, who was contacting the emperors of the dark world. The latter drank it in 1 sip and immediately felt that his whole aura had increased a lot. As the height increases, all attributes increase and remain at their peak. Shut up. I'm talking to you as the shipwright of the Demon King pirates. Khalifa hung up on the phone bug. He looked at Yi Zhou and the cup he was drinking from. The effects of the holy grail of life are astonishing. Yi Zhou used it for drinking. Master Captain, the emperors of the dark world have all agreed. However, some people chose to refuse, including the Queen of Fun Street and King of Ocean's Umit. Khalifa knelt down on 1 knee, feeling that his body was not easy to balance after the increase. Really? Where's that stupid bird Morgans, and the little gold Tezzolo? They want to come. Khalifa thought for a while and then said. The dark world seems more willing to follow Big Mom. Oh, Yi Zhou was unhappy when he heard about this old woman. After dealing with these 2 death seekers, she will die. You guys clean up Beehive Island, I'll be back as soon as I can. Yi Zhou drank all the wine in the holy grail of life. Picked up the 2 pointers and stepped out of the palace. He jumped up. The wings of Zimu condense the magical energy of thunder and lightning while entangling the magical energy of wind. Wind and thunder wings. The chicken charm and the rabbit charm accelerate. The demonic energy of the moon breaks all bonds. Wow! Yi Zhou burst out at extreme speed with all his strength. Another countdown mission. It's all your fault, you 2 black sheep. You have to take action against such a kind person like me. Whoosh! On a seemingly ordinary island. Yi Zhou stepped onto the ground and saw and heard from a super long distance. Sabaki confirmed his whereabouts at a glance. The Sea King is hiding underground here. On the surface, trade ships are used to transport goods, but in fact, submarines are used to transport goods. He flatly refused after receiving a call from Khalifa. Demon King Yi Zhou. Didn't he know that all along? Is the dark world controlled by Kaido and Bigmom? Before that there was Heavenly Yaksha Doflamingo who was the middleman. Today, they are backed by 4 emperors. What is a mere devil? Do you really think Morgan's newspaper just blew a few random words and he really became the 5th emperor? Boom! The whole island trembled, and he who was hiding in the underground port just blew out a smoke ring. A tall figure appeared in front of him. Are you worthy of being called king? Yi Zhou mentioned the king of shipping. Are you the devil? The Sea Transport King remembers that Yi Zhou, who has a bounty on his head, is not like this. I knew the real-life version would be so oppressive. He has surrendered long ago. Boom! Kill with 1 punch. The laser eyes directly destroyed their corpses. Yi Zhou turned around and said. From now on, the territory and all the business of Shipping King will belong to me. In addition, global food delivery will be launched. And New World Ocean Express. It is not only necessary to revitalize the original business. More to be added. There is still one. Yi Zhou ignored everyone's stunned looks. Lasers erupted from his eyes, blasting away the surface of the island. Such anger. New World. Happy Street. As the Queen of Happy Street, the Emperor of the Dark World, and one of the talkers, Stussy also has a special identity. A member of CP0 and possesses a large amount of secret information. At this time, she was drinking afternoon tea leisurely. What a devil, you really think you are a green onion? I don't even think about the overlord who can occupy the new world. Which one is not intricate? Quote, Stussy smiled and said to the phone bug. Linlin, this guy has been bluffing everywhere. But he didn't take action against any of the 4 emperors. This shows that he is just seeking fame. Quote, it turned out to be Charlotte Linlin on the other side of the phone bug. The veteran 4 emperors known as BIGMOM. What kind of devil? He tried to get his hands on everything about me. Does he want to die? BIGMOM laughed, saying that Demon King Yi Zhou provoked Kaido and declared war on Whitebeard. In fact, don't dare to provoke her at all. Now he wants the Dark World to surrender to him. It's so ridiculous. Are you the Queen of Happy Street? A cold voice sounded. Yi Zhou quietly stood behind Stussy. Big MOM. He picked up the phone and shouted. Lousy will snap your fat pig-like neck in half after finishing the matter at hand. Nani. BIGMOM is drinking afternoon tea and chatting with his best friends at Cake Island in Wangguo. When I heard this, I immediately became furious. Kid. She was about to refute, but found that Yi Zhou had turned off the phone bug. Ah, BIGMOM roared crazily. She wants to declare war on the Demon King Yi Zhou. Twist his head off. Happy Street. Stussy swallowed and turned around slowly. She usually just gets high orally. When I really saw Yi Zhou, the sweat beads on his forehead came out one after another. This is the master that everyone in Tianlong is trying to kill. Lord Demon King, how come you are here? Logically speaking, it would take at least a day's journey to get to her from any location in New World. Yi Zhou, is he human? It's impossible that there really is a Demon King in this world. At this speed, she could definitely find out beforehand and escape in the shortest time. Who would have known that he would be found so quickly without even a chance to escape? Do you know how long it took me to fly here? Yi Zhou looked unhappy. Grabbing Stussy's blonde hair, Yi Zhou has no sympathy for his enemies. Not to mention, Stussy is not weak. At a tea party, even thousands of meters away. Use the finger gun to defeat Felder, one of the Dark Emperors. Lord Demon King, this is Happy Street. As the name suggests, it is a place called Paradise. You can get everything you want. Stussy looked at Yi Zhou out of the corner of her eye, ogling him desperately. You old onion, don't think I don't know that you are the same age as Big MOM. Yi Zhou picked up Stussy. Her only value is that she is a member of CP0 and has a lot of information. Those so-called secrets are of no value to Yi Zhou. Don't be a human being in the next life, you Japanese melon. No, when Stussy heard this, her heart dropped a lot. I was about to ask for mercy. Yi Zhou's eyes had burst into bright golden light. Fingergun. Stussy also tried to fight back before dying. As a person of the same age who grew up with BIGMOM, she still looks like a beautiful girl when she is nearly 70 years old. Its strength and condition are naturally quite good. For Yi Zhou, this blow left no trace on his skin. Steel balloon. Stussy felt remorseful. Her face had already been reduced to ashes by the laser eyes. Yi Zhou stood still and finally lost his anger. It's been a little too brutal lately. These evil spirits, black shadows, etc. may affect my state of mind. I have to meditate when I go back. Quote, Yi Zuoxin used the Jingu talisman to eliminate the turmoil in his heart. Ding. Side mission completed. Dominate the Dark World. Task reward. Shiva's bracelet perfect version. A pair of gold bracelets. Yi Zhou really grew another pair of hands. But something struck his mind. The wind and thunder wings, 6 hands, and double kakuzu all disappeared. This is the benefit of having the power of nature. Can be used at any time with convergence. The main chain mission has been started. Destroy one of the 4 emperors. Wait for BIGMOM to declare war and attack all nations. Task reward. Divine treasure armor perfect version. ... Yi Zhou remembered this, as if even an ordinary person wearing it could rival the demon Dekui. Okay, I guess the next one is the Eye of Aurora, which can teleport anywhere in the world at will. BIGMOM still dares the bad guy to file a complaint first. Then he wants to fight. 3 days later, emperors from all walks of life in the Dark World, including the Golden Emperor Tesoro and the News King Morgans, gathered on Hive Island. Yi Zhou sat high on the throne and looked at the figures who came to worship him one after another. Every pirate ship on Beehive Island is guarded by black shadows. The sky and the earth are all heavily guarded. There are also Poseidon-like overlords living in the sea. Artificially created a windless zone. The Golden Emperor Tesoro swallowed hard when he saw this scene. It's so exciting. I heard that BIGMOM is about to declare war on the Demon King. Morgans and the Dark Emperors were still discussing excitedly when they left Beehive Island. The more brutal the battlefield, the more gold they can collect. Early next morning, Yi Zhou yawned, woke up from the pillow on Empress Robin's lap. Next door, Baby 5 and Little Sadie are teaching the Draco maid a lesson. Dusky, Rebecca, Tina, and Violet are closely guarded. Mama Siggy and Betty entered the bedroom. Captain, we received a challenge letter from all nations this morning. Khalifa stepped forward with a letter in hand. Big MOM. That's right, Mama Siggy was very excited inside. She also wanted to see how powerful Yi Zhou was against the 4 emperors. Do those dark shadows need my encouragement? Betty blew out a puff of smoke and helped light a fire for Tina. No need, they will never be afraid. Yi Zhou stretched. What about other defenses and reserves? Upon hearing this, Nami, whose body was wrapped with lightning, melted the gold into the shape of Beehive Island. Vivi, Corona, and Reiju are in charge of medical care. They are also responsible for poison attacks and psychic attacks. Shirahoshi and Garrett are in charge of defense. They are also responsible for sea siege and sniper missions. Bonnie is in charge of the chef and will also go on the expedition. After listening to Nami's words, Yi Zhou drank a glass of wine that he had made early. Yes, they are all capable men. I feel confident in your work. What else did BIGMOM say? The Empress took the challenge and slowly opened it. After she finished reading it in an arrogant tone, the little bird cuddled up again, looking at Yi Zhou pitifully. I am the Emperor of the Sea. If you have the ability, just wait on Beehive Island. Beehive Island awaits. Isn't this just sitting there waiting for death? Wait, if she attacks next year, do I have to stay idle for another year? Yi Zhou clenched his fists with 5 fingers, and his bones cracked. It sounds like the bones are worn out and needs to be treated with a horse charm. Ding! The main chain mission has been completed. Destroy one of the 4 emperors, BIGMOM declares war. Task reward. Divine treasure armor perfect version. Yi Zhou put on a layer of armor in the blink of an eye. For him, it is just enhanced basic attributes and additional flying ability. It is equivalent to twice the body of the Demon King. The main chain mission has been started. Destroy the second of the 4 emperors, never sit still and wait for death, and invade the Cake Island. Task reward. Eye of Aurora perfect version. ... Yi Zhou knew that it was indeed the reward for this mission. The Eye of Aurora is a decoration, similar to a necklace. The function is also very simple. It's nothing more than teleporting to all parts of the world at will. At that time, as long as he has the geographical coordinates or Yi Zhou remembers the location, you can fly over at any time. I'm more curious about what the reward for defeating BIGMOM will be. Yi Zhou now has 8 demonic energies, 12 talismans, and 9 black shadows gathered together. Now the 3 major arrogances have all been raised to their peak, and all god-tier weapons have been collected. What's missing? Pack up your things, we will send out the entire army to attack all nations. Captain, don't you leave anyone to guard you, Khalifa said cautiously. The Poseidons form a windless zone, and there are tens of thousands of shadows guarding it. Who dares to come? Yi Zhou is not afraid, he has plenty of troops to guard his home. Soon, the Demon King rides the wind and waves, heading in the direction of all nations. BIGMOM declares war. Why? What Yi Zhou wants is to attack. Keep advancing. Devil's Restaurant. Yi Zhou finished eating meat, eggs, milk, vegetables, fruits and carbohydrates. He picked up a bottle of red wine from his wine library that contained fine wines from all over the world. That's why it's a little lighter today. The purpose is to take a look at my character panel. It's probably the last time I've seen it since the last time I saw it. Yi Zhou was filled with emotions. It has been a long time since he met an opponent who could let him use all his martial arts skills. Hope BIGMOM won't be too disappointing. System, open the character panel. Zudian role-playing system is generating a character panel for host Yi Zhou. Character panel, plane, pirate world, time, Haiyuan calendar year 1516. Character, Holy Lord, player, Yi Zhou, feature, photographic memory. Demon Qi, fire demonic Qi, thunder and lightning demonic Qi, water demonic Qi, wind demonic Qi, sky demonic Qi, moon demonic Qi, mountain demonic Qi, earth demonic Qi full version. Skill, swordsmanship great swordsman. Hegemony, armed color flowing Sakura, iron fist wisdom color predict the future, super long range, voice of all things conquerors batangle, witness and kill. Talent, body of the Holy Lord full status body of the Demon King double increase. Skill, 12 talismans concept level. Summon, Shadow Core, Samurai, Ninja, Thornblade, Nightbat, Hunting Pincer, Troll, Shadow Eater, Alien, Mantis Unlimited. Noble Phantasm, History Book of Time unlocked. Backpack, Pluton Blueprint, Historical Text Sky Island, Alabasta, Fishman Island, Zo 10 boxes of gold, 2 billion Baileys, Holy Grail of Life. Equipment, Supreme Knife First Generation Ki Tetsu, Shiva's Bracelet, Divine Treasure Armor Perfect Version. Yi Zhou has only one comment on these many abilities. Not bad. Click close. The character panel of the system interface has also been retracted. The Demon King's fleet is still too weak. How can a sailor with such a small skills dominate the sea? I hope Wang Guo can have some fun. Quote, Yi Zhou has always wanted to find a suitable bartender. Ensure that the Demon King has sufficient drinking water at sea. His memory is not very good either. It would be good if he could find a memory master. But if you have drinks, they need to be kept chilled at all times. I heard that there is a pirate captain under Whitebeard called the Ice Witch. Master Captain, not far ahead is Wang Guo. Found 10 pirate ships coming towards us. It should be the advance ship of the BIGMOM pirates. Khalifa reported, while Violet and Garrett watched the distance as lookouts. Then what are you waiting for? Fire. Yi Zhou woke up from the idea of the crew list. Walk out of the restaurant and look into the distance from the bow of the ship. The pirate ships of the BIGMOM pirates are quite powerful, but if compared to their size, the Demon King is twice as tall as their main pirate ship. Not only a treasure ship, but also a giant ship. Yi Zhou's Demon King skull moves with the wind in the pirate flag. Use the monkey charm. Transformed into the form of the phantom beast Oko true god. He exhaled a breath of cold air, immediately freezing the direction of the BIGMOM pirates. Advance. Kill. Jump up. Yi Zhou holds the demonic energy of fire. He punched 10 pirate ships that were unable to move. Wow. The flames burned the earth and melted the originally frozen sea surface in just an instant. Steam rises. A tall figure rose into the sky. The blue dragon hangs in the sky. Thunder and lightning demonic energy, water demonic energy, and sky demonic energy. Only with the increase of the 3 major demonic energies can the true dragon be able to dominate the weather. Yi Zhou opened his bloody mouth. A dragon's breath was wrapped in the demonic energy of fire and blasted out. There are 10 pirate ships, and no one from the BIGMOM pirate group is even aware of them. They all rose to the sky with a set of silky combos. Keep going. Yi Zhou returns to human form. I shook the red wine glass, it was just my morning exercise. The Grand Line. Malinvando. In the Fleet Admiral Office of Marine Headquarters, contemporary marine powerhouses gathered. Sengoku, Garp, Akainu, Aokiji, Kizaru. I saw that the skin of the 3 generals was emitting a light similar to iron armor. It looks like there are still 6 years until Seraph is released. The technology used on them is not yet mature. Demon King Yi Zhou goes to war with Bigmom. But it's a good opportunity for us to enter the new world. If the two fight against each other, both sides will lose. Quote. Warring States looked at everyone. Garp was eating snacks, wondering what he was thinking. When he was discharged from the hospital, he heard that the devil had broken into the new world. Go to war, Sakazuki spoke, and a hatch suddenly opened in his half-mechanical, half-modified belly. Inside was a big dog barking. Fortunately, there is a translator invented by Vegapunk. Squeak. A small hatch also opened on Aokiji's belly. The Cyan one opened his mouth and said, "If you want to recover your body, you must kill the ability user." The other side. Kizaru is rare in his seriousness. I saw its belly opened, revealing a monkey's head. He is drinking coffee inside. It stands to reason that if our domineering power is strong enough, we can remove the effect of the fruit. See this scene. Ahe helplessly covered his eyes with his hands. Zephyr has left for the new world. No, you will be turned into a real crane if you go. Warring States thought Ahe was going to take action himself. It took a pause to hear clearly. Didn't Zephyr just change his arm and form some kind of pirate pursuit team on his own? Isn't this adding to the chaos? Maybe he is chasing the Demon King Yi Zhou. Garp's words brought the atmosphere at Marine headquarters to freezing point. Zephyr became more and more haggard after his arm was cut off. I just replaced the robotic arm and stopped practicing. Formed a pirate pursuit team and went to the new world. These are troubled times right now, and it is really thought-provoking. The war ended 4 years later. Whitebeard too became the 7 warlords of the sea, which is when he rebelled. IWC. Cake Island. Bigmom is eating until his mouth is full of oil. She has sent 10 pirate ships to lead the charge. It won't be long before Beehive Island is besieged. At that time she will personally lead the army there. The place where the Rocks pirates were stationed was razed to the ground. The Demon King pirates are just a fledgling brat. Not only did she make the Dark World surrender, but she also killed her best friend. Katakuri, why is there some chaos outside? Bigmom said displeased ly. Mom, someone should have come to report to the advance fleet. Katakuri picked up the trident and walked towards the door. Suddenly a potato homith stumbled in. Mom, it's not good. All our pirate ships were destroyed. The devil is coming. Nani? Charlotte Linlin sat up in shock while dying. He immediately became furious. He came. Prometheus turned into flames with long hair, and Napoleon held the hat sword in his hand. Stepping on Thundercloud Zeus, hovering in the sky. Follow me on the expedition. Bigmom roared. She leads the Vice Captain Longbread, 4 generals, dozens of ministers, and powerful cadres. The strong men from all walks of life in the pirate group, and the countless army of homiths. P.S. It will be at least 5 years before Snag is removed from the list. 4 emperors, Charlotte Linlin. He became famous decades ago, known as the Steel Balloon, and has a mutated physique. Monsters with all 3 colors of hockey and devil fruit awakened. At the Lamb's house, he went on a rampage and killed 2 captains of the older generation of the giant pirates. P.S. It's not the 2 in the small garden, it's the older Mountain Beard and Waterfall Beard. After forming a pirate group with Longbread. And because of the pirate game, I joined the Rocks pirate group. Get acquainted with Kaido when he was young and gave him the devil fruit, a fantasy beast species. He claims to have never been injured and has natural strength. Over the Cake Island, Bigmom's arrogance is steaming, dark clouds are overhead, and thunder and lightning are intertwined. The deputy captain, Longbread, was old, but he still stood in the crowd and waited. Katakuri, Smoothie, Cracker, Snag. The 4 generals were all domineering, and the blood-red light was like returning from hell. Dozens of children guard one party as ministers. This moment, when the true identity of a 4 emperors group is revealed. A strong sense of oppression has swept across the world, making even breathing feel painful. Until a huge pirate ship appears. The Demon King destroyed the camp along the way. Until they reached the hinterland of all nations. Cake Island. What the hell? Yi Zhou stood at the bow of the boat, and his whole body went numb when he saw this scene. Why don't you be the 6th one for me? No wonder those people on the road are so weak. So it's all hidden here. Ding. The main chain mission has been completed. Destroy the second of the 4 emperors and invade the Cake Island. Task reward. Eye of Aurora perfect version. A gold necklace appeared around Yi Zhou's neck. This big gold chain can teleport the whole world to the Eye of Aurora. I'm just about to shake one now. Just when Yi Zhou wanted to complain, he saw a brand new mission. The main chain mission has been started. Destroy the third of the 4 emperors and defeat the BIGMOM pirates. Mission reward. Steel balloon, Lunalia flame, snow fruit. Give 3 rewards at once. The steel balloon refers to BIGMOM's super mutant physique. Lunalia's flame is the first of the 3 disasters, the characteristic of the fire disaster. Snow fruit. Yi Zhou thought for a moment before remembering that he seemed to be a cadre of the Don Quixote family. Already dead. Too bad. If you give me such a bad reward next time, I will retire and become One Piece. Yi Zhou rubbed his fists. Complaints are complaints. Mission rewards are still necessary. Even if there is no countdown, it must be completed as soon as possible. Otherwise, the opponents will die of old age. He will have no mission rewards in the future. Such a big battle really deserves a beating. Yi Zhou uses the Eye of Aurora. He took the whole boat directly to Cake Island. The 9 Black Shadow Corps also appeared. Kid, you are stepping onto the territory that belongs to the Sea Emperor. BIGMOM glanced at Yi Zhou with contempt. Yeah. Yi Zhou raised his head and twisted his neck in displeasure. I don't like people talking to me in a condescending way. The monkey charm emits light. Transformed into the animal type of the pirate world. Ren fruit phantom beast species Nika form. The clouds and mist were lingering, and the hair turned snow white. Even the robes of the 8 demons and the divine armor turned pure white. Only the Eye of Aurora and the Shiva's bracelet, first generation Kitetsu maintain their respective colors. The white light Nika, the golden light accessories, and the dark supreme sharp knife. The 3 became Yi Zhou's embellishments. He couldn't help but laugh, feeling that everything around him could be used for his own use. What kind of fruit ability is this? BIGMOM looked at Yi Zhou on the ground in surprise. The next second, Yi Zhou regarded the Cake Island as a pop-up window and jumped up laughing. Big MOM, kneel down. Kid, if I don't take action, you really think New World is an amusement park? Tianmin is the god of freedom. Thunder rolls indiscriminately. Destroy the entire land. Yi Zhou was in Nika state at this time, so how could he be afraid of mere thunder and lightning? At the same time, his heart beats like a drum, blessing every partner. Plus Betty's encouraging fruit. The 2 explore the potential and courage of all members of the Demon King Pirates. After being branded by the previous 9 Black Shadows, the 9 crew members were given an increase in domineering power. Yi Zhou punched out at the same time. His powerful 8 demonic energies also blessed the remaining partners. Boom, 8 demonic energies and 9 black shadows. The 8 demonic energies have been gathered, granting the subordinates no harm to themselves. The full version of the magic energy conferment will increase the domineering force and will not cause any side effects. This way, all of Yi Zhou's subordinates receive the blessings of Nika drums, encouragement fruits, demonic energy, and black shadows. When Poseidons surround Cake Island, the Black Shadow Corps took action and instantly killed BIGMOM's homites. Whether it is the sky, the earth, or the ocean, they are all densely covered. Bonnie gains a boost from the mountain's demonic aura. Garrett gains an increase in lightning magic energy. Shirahoshi gains water magic amplification. While imparting these demonic energies, it also makes its domineering power stronger. Want to hurt our captain? Dream on. Momosuke knocks Cracker away with one strike of his sword. The demonic energy of the earth burst out with power, and the biscuit soldiers were restrained by its strange power. Boom. Nami and Garrett are the thunder fruit and thunder demonic energy respectively. Crush Snag and Perospero forcefully. Smoothie wanted to squeeze Shirahoshi's devil fruit into juice. Never thought that the demonic energy of water is inexhaustible. Bonnie's size was not affected, but he swallowed all the food on the Cake Island. Erupting with terrifying power like King Kong Barbie. The Empress blocked Katakori's trident Earth Dragon with a flying kick. Dafu just took out the Jin and tried to sneak attack this battle. Not far away, Betty's whole body burst into flames to repel it. Encourage the fruit and the magical energy of fire. You are not qualified to take action. The wings behind Tina mean that she is the devil in the sky. He trapped hundreds of pirates as soon as he took action. Dasky instantly appeared behind Owen and slashed out with his sword. Rebecca is invisible and draws her sword, making it impossible for anyone to deal with it. Boom! Violet's cheeks quivered, and the demonic energy of the wind burst out, rolling thousands of homets into the sky. The best time to use poison is when you are unable to move. Reiju has the demonic energy of the moon amplified, suspending each enemy in the air, and the toxins fly out instantly. Khalifa launched a flying kick, and the warrior Black Shadow protected him. The increase in Black Shadow and domineering power greatly increases the power of Marine Sixth Form. Perona and Vivi used their haki to defend while using Devil Fruit to sweep the entire place. There are people constantly suffering from the disease that will kill you if you continue to fight, and falling into self-destruction of, I am just rubbish. The alien shadows around Robin were ever-changing, like rubber, blocking all attacks. Buy time for the use of its flowers and fruits. And there is a dark shadow that accelerates the awakening of haki for him. Each hand is naturally covered with armed haki when attacking. Little Sadie and Baby 5 took violent action. One is that the slippery fruit will not be attacked. The other is a weapon fruit, which turns into various attacks. The Hunting Claw Shadow and Thornblade Shadow are enough to deal with everyone. We are actually at a disadvantage. Smoothie couldn't believe this. Can Mom stop the devil? Bu Yuling panicked and took a flying carpet to escape. Smoothie, be careful bulling. Katakori saw the future. That means Tu Yizhou will appear. Whoosh! I saw Yizhou himself in black transformed into the body of a demon king in full domineering form. Smoothie, who was fighting Shirahoshi, had no time to escape. Yizhou knocked it into the pit with one palm. Aren't you fighting with Mom? Smoothie couldn't believe it, she couldn't even receive a palm from Yizhou. That's right, in the sky is Yizhou in white clothes in the form of Nika. I am Yizhou, the demon king created by the tiger talisman. Demon King Yizhou is wearing black clothes. Even in a normal posture, he is nearly 6 meters tall. He holds the supreme sword first generation Kitetsu. A knife was thrust into Smoothie's neck. Smoothie was hit hard by one punch. Yizhou's powerful conqueror's domineering energy struck him and stunned him on the spot. Smoothie, who rolled his eyes, was already unconscious. Shirahoshi, throw this guy on the ship, she will be our beverage chef from now on. Big boss. Shirahoshi picked up Smoothie, who was stunned by Yizhou, with one hand and placed him on the deck. There is still one. Demon King Yizhou smiled evilly. Yizhou, who was flying with wings spread, appeared in front of Bu Yuling on the flying carpet. What? Can you fly over my king's black shadow night bat? Yizhou flicked his fingertips and lifted the bangs from Bu Yuling's forehead. Only the third eye was seen blinking. Yes, your devil fruit even hides BIGMOM, right? How do you know? Bulling thought this was her deepest secret. The three-eyed clan, Paramesha, the one with the memory fruit ability. You can delete other people's memories at will. Very good. Your memory fruit and Violet's lie recognition are a perfect match. A snap of the fingers. Kill on sight. Level Conqueror's domineering power caused Bu Yuling to lose consciousness. He holds a musket as a weapon and can cooperate with Garrett. Throw it onto the Demon King. Demon King Yizukai quietly looked at the sky. He will sit on the battlefield of Cake Island and will never allow any crew member to die. As for BIGMOM, then leave it to Nika Yejuo in white. Above the sky, Yizhou's hair in white clothes shone with light, and he had 2 pairs of arms on his abdomen and armpits. Hair that burns like flames and steam streamers make it even more mysterious. A monster with 6 arms. It can actually ignore lightning attacks. As BIGMOM spoke, Prometheus expanded rapidly. Supreme fire. Boom. The scorching hot flames engulfed Yizhou in an instant. Is this considered popular? Yizhou opened his mouth. All the flames were swallowed up by him who controlled the demonic energy of fire. Nani. Forget it, you are immune to lightning attacks. Why can even flames be eaten? BIGMOM can't understand it. The outside world says that Yizhou has the ability to copy the fruit. But this was the first time in her life that she had seen this kind of ability. What, are you playing with fire and electricity? Yizhou, who was dressed in white, was very playful. The Nika form is truly worthy of being called the most ridiculous ability. As soon as it is turned on, people have the idea of fighting to their heart's content and teasing the enemy at the same time. Come on first, the flame burst invincible electric eye. Boom. First came Yi Zhou's flame attack. He has long wanted to eat a named fruit. He directly strung the moves together and shouted them out. One more move, 9 heavens thunderstorm. If flames are not enough, some lightning is needed. BIGMOM serves thunder and fire as an appetizer. So why not Yi Zhou? I saw that all the dark clouds in the sky turned into thunderstorms and fell from the sky. Yi Zhou turned into a little sun that could explode at any time, bursting out energy and blasting towards BIGMOM. The feeling of oppression between the two is far better than Charlotte Linlin. Are you copying my moves? BIGMOM has not finished speaking. She was critically hit by the pillar of flame and struck by 5 thunders. The battle has just begun. The black smoke dispersed. BIGMOM looked at Yi Zhou angrily. But she saw a giant with a fist bigger than her body standing in the air. Yi Zhou looked at BIGMOM with a smirk. Old woman, watch your move. Elbaf's spear powerful country. What BIGMOM values most is desserts and gourmet food, and the second is dignity and face. Yi Zhou's formation and her subordinates all crushed her. Plus this giant-like Nika form. This made BIGMOM extremely angry. Purple light blooms. The domineering winding is a super wide-range sword energy. Wow! Expanded with the shock wave. A great swordsman's slash that could destroy half of the island. The ghosts cry, the 9th month, the demonic sky sings. Yi Zhou in white took the first-generation ghost Tetsu throne from Demon King Yi Zhou. Use all he has learned throughout his life. 2-color domineering entanglement, the power of the devil and the bonus of the cow talisman. Lightning, flames, and storms can be used to surround themselves with demonic energy. The howling wind and thunder tore at the flames together, making a harsh sound, like a ghost crying. A sword slashed across. Under the influence of the Nika state, first-generation Kitetsu also became terrifyingly giant. Nani. BIGMOM thought that his dominance and power were at their peak. Unexpectedly, Yi Zhou was promoted from Luying to Garp's Iron Fist. Simple bullying goes one step further to kill by sight. The Ox Talisman, the body of the Holy Lord, the demonic chi of the mountain, the demonic chi of the earth, and the body of the Demon King increase the power. Just one blow made Napoleon, the hat sword in her hand, tremble. Nah, it's Nika. Yi Zhou was condescending. The BIGMOM in his eyes fell to the ground in shock. He stepped to the ground. BIGMOM, who was about to fall into the pit, received a head-on blow. What's this? Katakuri wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and was about to continue attacking. I saw a big foot stepping towards BIGMOM. Then he suddenly remembered. That's Mom. All the ministers and cadres of the BIGMOM pirates raised their heads. The influence of Nika's form almost made their eyes fly out. Everyone had exaggerated expressions, just like Tom, and said in unison. Mom, the battle is defeated. Boom, the white light giant disappeared. Yi Zhou couldn't help but laugh, covering his belly. Ha 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 ha, so funny. In the form of the big Buddha, you can't help but feel upright and awe-inspiring. The blue dragon form makes me want to hover in the sky. In the Oguchi true god form, I instinctively protect the Demon King's fleet. Nine-tails fox form always makes people want to deceive others. The phoenix form makes people always want to spread their wings and become loose. Nika's form changes the surrounding environment, affecting others and also trying to tease the enemy. Quote, Yi Zhou felt the so-called demonic will of the phantom beast species. In fact, it is just a personality. He laughed heartily and looked at everyone on the ground. So hungry, so many homies. If you eat all the homits that BIGMOM obtained by collecting countless souls, she would definitely be angry to death. Quote, Yi Zhou stretched out his hand. The ground bounced like rubber. He grabbed it with his big hand and threw hundreds of homies into his mouth. The mountain's demonic energy quickly devoured him and transformed Yi Zhou's body. Where are the Sun Pirates and the Vinsmoke family? Yi Zhou complained while eating. Have these two forces not appeared yet? After all, it's a battle between the 4 emperors. As a force under the Demon King pirates, shouldn't you be embarrassed? The current hit me over my shoulder. Haisha Jinbei's voice appeared in my ears. The next moment, he broke out of the water and fought off hundreds of pirates. Lord Demon King, the Sun Pirates are late, please forgive me. We went to the island where Dad was. If you explain the Fishman Island incident clearly to him, the war will not break out. What? Yi Zhou was eating a mouthful of homits and swallowed Bigmom's favorite cake in one gulp. No fight. Can Whitebeard swallow this breath? I'm so angry, let him come. If I don't come, I'll go by myself. Yi Zhou still didn't believe that Bybird could have such a good temper. Electromagnetic thrust. The high-tech spear burst into golden light. Judge led the Vinsmoke family belatedly. Lord Demon King, we must have a share in destroying all nations. His 3 sons also fought hard, and countless clones and shadows attacked homies. It's so slow. Why don't you wait until all the celestial dragons are dead before you come back? As soon as Yi Zhou finished cursing, he heard a sound coming around the corner. Mama, mama, mama. Bigmom was covered in blood and she completely lost her mind. Screaming and releasing Conqueror's domineering power indiscriminately. Boom. One by one, homies and her children fell. The invasion is about to approach the Demon King pirates. Yi Zhou took one step forward. Conqueror's domineering firepower is in full swing. Boom. The originally unstoppable Bigmom was directly repelled by Yi Zhou's Conqueror's haki. Then she continued to retreat, and her rolled eyes recovered. Boom. This fierce Conqueror's dominance finally made Bigmom completely sober. When she regained consciousness, only food was left in her eyes. Bulimia attacks and goes berserk. What the hell is it that you can't help but hit? Yi Zhou didn't expect it either. One strike of sword and one kick turned the 4 emperors into madmen. What happened just now? Perospero stuck out his tongue, not yet figuring out the truth of the matter. From the Zhou kingdom, Pedro was once robbed of 50 years of life by Bigmom and lost an eye. The leader of the Furry Kingdom, the Night Group, and the former captain of the Nox Pirates. Coming with a sword in hand. Lord Demon King, please allow me to participate in the battle. We don't have any friendship, so go ahead and cut it yourself. Yi Zhou waved casually. Pedro struck his eldest son, Perospero, with his sword. Here, Yi Zhou in white clothes is still eating food like crazy and turned into homits. Soon, Bigmom is eating like crazy, and Yi Zhou is also speeding up. Mom's bulimia has broken out, run away. There are undead shadows of the Demon King pirates everywhere here. Where should we escape? Haisha Jinbei and the Vinsmoke family are also here, and the war is getting worse and worse. That guy Pedro actually dares to come here to die. I will take him with me to death. Cake Island is in a mess. Yi Zhou finally had a small meal and stood in front of Bigmom. I've eaten all the food on this island. He grinned and his whole body began to swell. Until it grew to 6.66 meters. Only then did the effect of the mountain's demonic energy stop. I feel a lot stronger again. Yi Zhou in white clothes clasped his fingers together. He threw the supreme sharp knife to Demon King Yi Zhou. I'm going to keep fighting. The demonic energy of the mountain only needs to be continuously devoured to become stronger. This is true super evolution. As Yi Zhou spoke, Bigmom also quickly lost weight. Bulimia causes him to rapidly consume energy, and his combat power continues to soar. This means she has completely lost her mind. So hungry, Mama needs strawberry cake. Bigmom roared, and the moment she looked at Yi Zhou, the long sword in her hand slashed out like thunder. If you dare to go berserk, I'll beat you until you wake up. It will be more interesting to defeat you after regaining consciousness. Yi Zhou's eyes were sharp, like a dragon that had caught sight of its prey. That's a crazy mother. We have no chance of winning if we continue fighting like this. Some people turned around and ran away. This is a slap in the face. My boss is going crazy, but the enemy is fighting with full health. Bree carried more than a dozen mirrors. Shouted. Go quickly, brother, brother, sister, sister. 4 terms cover almost all of the Bigmom pirates. They had no fighting spirit, and they had already suffered heavy losses, but under such circumstances, they were stabbed in the back by Bigmom. If you don't escape, your entire army will be annihilated. Are you going to run away? Yi Zhou stretched out a big hand, using the demonic energy of the mountain, and Lu Ying, Batang ignored Bigmom's slashing attack. Caught her. Smash the mirror. Katakuri just gave the order. Only a third of them survived and fled into the mirror. But just break the mirror and you can escape. Whoosh. A huge figure was thrown in. Bigmom screamed all over the floor. Her mind is full of food, and when she sees a person, she wants to attack and seize the soul. Why are you so anxious? Are you leaving or taking your captain with you? Yi Zhou appeared in front of everyone with a giggle. He punched the last mirror into pieces. There was no escape route for the Bigmom pirates. Mom, wake up. Now is not the time for strawberry cake. Before Perospero finished speaking, Bigmom was furious and struck with his sword. Boom. Katakuri blocked it with a trident. He flew out directly with Perospero and fell against the wall of the mirror world. Bree. Yi Zhou picked up Bu Lei. His conqueror's dominance exploded, and everyone in the audience fainted. Only Bigmom and Katakuri were still conscious. Kill you, you will be strawberry cake. Bigmom has become so thin that he looks like he is only 50 years old. It seemed that the thinner she got, the younger she looked. Kill me, you idiot, who gave you the courage? Bree fell to the ground. Obediently carve out a mirror space. It was pointing at the largest pirate ship in the world. Yi Zhou's palm is bigger than Bigmom's body. A big fight shouted out. Presumptuous. Bigmom is confident that it can block this blow. A slap came. Her entire face was distorted and she flew towards the mirror. Whoosh. Bigmom vomiting blood appears on the Queen Mother anthem. She was confused at first, then stood up and looked at Yi Zhou, who walked out of the mirror leisurely. Zeus, Prometheus, and Napoleon all began to tremble. That guy is here again. It's so scary. Thundercloud Zeus screamed, if Bigmom is the evil god, in the mouth of the giants, and the born destroyer, in the eyes of the world, then Yi Zhou is the complete monarch of hell, the king of devils. Don't come over here. Hat Sword Napoleon's whole body hurt. He felt that he might die after being slapped by Yi Zhou for a few times. Mom, please wake up. Great Fireball Prometheus shuddered. Even though he was a fireball, he felt extremely cold. Strawberry cake. Bigmom screamed again and slashed with his sword. She has become so thin that she looks like she is only 40 years old. On the contrary, the skin became firmer. He has sharp eyes and is a fierce person. It's time to wake up. Yi Zhou kicked one foot into the sky, transformed into a battle axe and turned into a giant's foot in the sky. Falling from the sky. Boom. The huge Queen Mother's anthem was split into two with a loud bang due to this kick. Bigmom, who originally drew his sword, was photographed by an ordinary pirate ship while riding a thunder cloud. The moment she was about to sink to the bottom of the ocean, Prometheus accelerated crazily and turned into a dark cloud flying out from the corner. Mom, wake up. This guy's fighting power is too strong. His domineering power is even more terrifying than my mother's, and his strength is crushing. Prometheus, get Mom out of here. The three strongest homets made by Charlotte Linlin with her soul have long since woken up. If you keep fighting, they will all die. Whoosh. Thundercloud Zeus controls the sky, using his own thunder and lightning and the flames of Prometheus to accelerate. They tried to escape with all their might. Bigmom, who was sitting in the dark clouds and was sad, slowly stood up and changed direction again. Once she wakes up, any homies must do as she is told. It's too slow. There's no point in fighting like this. Yi Zhou looked at Bigmom. At this time, Bigmom has slimmed down to its best condition, returning to her appearance in her 20s, when she joined the Rocks Pirates. Both appearance and figure are at their absolute peak. What's even more terrifying is, Bigmom, who was going crazy due to bulimia, completely woke up at this moment. She stared at Yi Zhou angrily. I was slapped awake when I was in a crazy state. Bigmom was furious, and the Prometheus on his head turned into long flaming hair. I want you to die. Singing Light Sword. Bigmom combines thunder, fire, sword and domineering. In the strongest state of madness, he slashed with his sword. Try this. Yi Zhou's two fists fell from the dark clouds, catching lightning and flames. That is, on the deck of half of the pirate ship that is about to sink. Katakuri sat down in the corner in embarrassment. Bree looked up to the sky with him. I saw 2 fists bigger than Cake Island, each wrapped in thunder and lightning and coming from flames. Boom. Everyone in the world was attracted by this scene. They looked up in unison. Bigmom roared like crazy. However, under these fists, she was as small as a grain of sand. Sink to the bottom of the sea soberly. Bigmom. Let no pirate in New World dare to declare war on me again. Next will be my era as the Demon King. The king of the world, rocks, died, and even his legend was erased. One Piece Roger sacrificed his life to usher in the era of great pirates and died generously. The waves behind one generation push the waves ahead. This is the new era of Demon King Yi-Jo. Boom. Thunder roared, and the darkness was shattered at this moment. Wow. The flames burn, igniting all impossibilities with passion. Bigmom was defeated with 2 fists at her peak. She lasted less than a breath. His face was flattened, and he spit out a mouthful of blood and fell into the sea from a high altitude. Fire and thunder opened the sea. A huge thunderstorm fireball explodes over the sea. The scorching heat evaporates large amounts of seawater in an instant. Water vapor rises and turns into white mist all over the sky. Yi-Jo in white clothes gradually returned to his normal human form. Demon King Yizukai floated his wings and punched him with both fists. Even if you are the other half conjured by the tiger talisman, you are still the devil. Whether you or I are good or evil, we are both devils. The moment of fusion. The white light faded slightly. Yi-Jo flapped his wings and his robes made a hunting sound. The sea breeze blew his hair. The corners of the raised lips smiled slightly. 4 emperors, long out of date. Chapter 51. The war is over, come home with me. Yi-Jo flew back to Cake Island. The crew of the Demon King pirates were all staring at him. His eyes were full of burning admiration and following. Where is that arrogant Bigmom known as the Steel Balloon? Is he dead? Judge swallowed. Only now did he understand that Reiju had made the right decision by following Yi-Jo. No legend can stand forever. Jinbei was also shocked, but more of a joy. This means that Fishman Island will remain peaceful for a longer period of time while Yi-Jo is at his peak. My soul is back. Pedro stretched out his hands. Of course, his lost eyes would never come back. But all the lost 50 years of life have returned. Tears filled his eyes and he vowed to follow Yi-Jo all his life. Ding. The main chain mission has been completed. Destroy the 4 emperors and defeat the Bigmom pirates. Mission reward. Steel balloon, Lunalia flame, snow fruit. Yi-Jo felt his bones and skin tremble slightly. Bursts of flames also burned on the wings of the wind and thunder. In comparison, shui fruit is the most ordinary one. Side mission has started. Capture Black Arm Zephyr. Task reward. Swordsmanship the strongest in the world the greatest swordsman. ... Yi-Jo was happy when the main mission came to an end. The new side mission made him a little confused. Black Arm Zephyr. He had just replaced his arm at this time, so it stands to reason that he should have established the Pirate Pursuit Team, the predecessor of Neo Marine. Could it be that they took advantage of his departure to set up an ambush on Beehive Island? At this leisurely pace, it will take a day to go back. Zephyr might even feed the fish by then. But from outsiders' perspective, it's common sense. The battle between 4 emperors will definitely hurt both sides. But the Bounty Marine is really a bit of a loss. The subsequent operations of Buggy the Clown were directly replaced by the system. Everyone, go home. Yi-Jo stood on the bow of the Demon King. Take away all the treasures of the nations. Pedro from the Vinsmoke family, the Sun Pirates, and the Fur Tribe watched the Demon King leave on the sea before turning around and leaving. The real king has appeared, and he will be the next One Piece. Judge was ashamed. All technological weapons seemed useless in front of Yi-Jo. Especially the moment when he witnessed Bigmom's defeat with his own eyes made him remember it deeply. As a Demon King, why should I be One Piece? In Jinbei's eyes, Yi-Jo doesn't even need to use One Piece as his name. The Demon King will definitely become a name comparable to One Piece Roger or even more dazzling in the future. It's time to return to Zuowu and tell Boss Cat Viper the good news. Pedro stared at Gallo the rabbit at the stern of the boat. He understood that this was what Roger was talking about tomorrow. Demon King. Yi Zhou raised his wine glass in celebration. Everyone raised their glasses and drank, except Smoothie and Bulling in the corner, who were at a loss what to do. Mom lost. This is impossible. Smoothie wakes up. When I heard that Yi Zhou and the others were celebrating their victory over the BIGMOM pirates, I was immediately confused and wanted to confirm the authenticity of the news. That is the Emperor of the Sea, Charlotte Linlin, known as the Steel Balloon. If Mom loses, what about Katakuri Ni and the others? Bu Yuling huddled in the corner, unable to believe this fact. Why was a fledgling pirate group able to defeat the 4 emperors? You must know that Yi Zhou's rise is very short-lived. Although there are all kinds of big events and news about him every day. But as a newcomer, Yi Zuodu is considered to be qualified to become 7 warlords of the sea at most. Unexpectedly, he was promoted to 4 emperors in a blink of an eye. But people who think this way are really arrogant. The 7 warlords of the sea just don't get along with each other. Otherwise, if we join forces, we can become the unparalleled 4 emperors group. The current 7 warlords of the sea. Empress Hancock joins the Demon King pirates. Sand Crocodile failed to form the real Crocodile pirates. Moonlight Moria turned into a bat and returned to the sea. Sea hero Jinbei followed the Grand Fleet and left Whitebeard's command. Heavenly Yaksha Doflamingo was sent to impel down by the Shadow Corps to read newspapers. The tyrant Shang Zai Donghai tried to stop Yi Zhou, but ended up losing Betty and then Bonnie. Only Mihawk remains. It can be said that Yi Zhou and the system are both crazy collectors. Even the 7 warlords of the sea are gathered together. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. Khalifa will tell them about their future work. Yi Zhou tapped Smoothie's head with a wine bottle. It made him angry and his face turned red with anger. According to the captain's arrangement, you will become the ship's sommelier and memory master. From now on, everyone must perform their duties. Quote, as a shipwright, Khalifa works as an assistant all day long. Dream, I am the general of the BIGMOM pirates. Smoothie cursed from his purple lips. Knock him out. Yi Zhou was too lazy to think too much and snapped his fingers. Hundreds of shadow trolls raised their fists. Bu Yuling sat aside and shivered with fear. It seemed that Yi Zhou was by no means a merciful master. Those female pirates should be seen as arrogant and domineering in the eyes of the world. In front of Yi Zhou, everyone seemed kind-hearted. Of course, this is just when facing Yi Zhou. By the way, send a letter to Newsbird. The Black Shadow Night Bat took the envelope and spread its wings out. Dark World. The news about BIGMOM's defeat quickly reached their ears. Newsbird Morgans flaps its wings happily. Great, this is really big news, hurry up. A new 4 emperors is born, and that is Demon King Yi Zhou. This time there will be no more controversy. He was ecstatically thinking that he could make a lot of money. Nightbat has appeared on a huge hot air balloon floating in the sky with an envelope. The Demon King's messenger. Morgans thought Yi Zhou didn't want him to publicize the matter. I didn't expect it to be written inside. Silly bird, if you dare to write, I will give you half of the newspaper's profits. This. Morgans wiped the sweat from his brow. It's so stupid, even better than BIGMOM. He wanted to refuse, but 9 dark shadows came out of the shadows in all directions. Creepy Morgans closed the envelope. Finally he nodded reluctantly. New world. On an isolated island, 5 pirate ships docked here. A crocodile crossed its legs, and beside it sat Mr. One and dozens of hippos. The crocodile slowly exhaled a puff of smoke and picked up the newspaper. Then his eyes nearly popped out. Sitting across from him was a giant bat. His eyes were also widened. Nani, this guy defeated BIGMOM. Crocodile, do we still want to take revenge? Mariah said in a loud voice. It depends. Sand Crocodile said calmly. Anyone who dares to touch this bad luck now is not simply seeking death. Moby Dick. Whale-like front end. 4 huge pirate ships sailed side by side. Whitebeard picked up a newspaper and looked around calmly. The captains have already started discussing. Teach, the Blackbeard hiding in the dark, is still just an ordinary member of the second team. But he was so shocked that he didn't speak for a long time. If the silence continues, will there still be a chance? Goo la 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 la. This guy who was followed by Jinbei defeated Linlin. It seems that Fishman Island can remain safe for a long time. Quote. Whitebeard was not angry because Jinbei followed Yi Zhou. He knew that compared to the lives of the entire Fishman Island, following the Sun Pirates was definitely within the moral limits. Dad, that's big MOM. The fourth captain, Saki, picked up the newspaper in shock. The newspaper said Jinbei was also involved in the fight. Foil Beasta touched his mustache. He is thinking about Fishman Island, but Dad. That's our territory, don't we need to declare war? The red-haired Shanks had just become the four emperors, and Bigmom was replaced by the Demon King Yi Zhou. If we don't take action, we may be missed by those supernovae. Quote. Phoenix Marco still values the overall interests of the Whitebeard pirates more. That would be a huge loss. Izo is maintaining his musket. He couldn't help but recall Wano country in his mind. Whitebeard's health deteriorated. They didn't attack the beast pirates at first. How could it be possible to easily declare war on a new and popular four emperors now? Father has promised that Jinbei will not declare war because of this. Diamond Jaws believes that everything should be done as Whitebeard does. Such an ambitious guy will never stop. Wait for the opportunity, he will definitely meet us. Unexpectedly, Linlin's strength did not last until the next day. Quote. Whitebeard raised a large pot of wine and drank it in one gulp. In the corner, Blackbeard Teach folded his arms and couldn't help but feel even more uncomfortable. Right now the four emperors are changing. The red-haired Shanks just broke the original pattern and became the new four emperors worthy of the name. Demon King Yi Zhou attacked the city and captured the territory. Defeat Bigmom to become the new four emperors. Whitebeard's health is getting worse and worse, and Kaido is in his prime. Who will be replaced next? Can Teach still wait for his dark fruit? His eyes were cold, and a kind of determination gradually arose in his heart. Wano country, Onigashima. Kaido, the beast, was dressed in purple and drank the wine gourd in one gulp. When he got drunk he started crying. Linlin, are you leaving so soon? Demon King Yi Zhou, I will cut you into pieces. He sat on the chair and couldn't help but think of his first visit to Beehive Island when he was young. Become a trainee crew member of the Rocks Pirates. He also received a gift from Bigmom and obtained the Devil Fruit, a magical beast in the form of a blue dragon. It's time to repay this kindness. Jack, go to Wangguo to find Katakuri, and salvage Charlotte Linlin by the way. If you are alive, you want to see people, if you are dead, you want to see corpses. Kaido threw the mace aside with force. Governor, I will bring back Big Mom's body. Drought Jack's tall body swayed and he walked out of the ghost island stupidly. Jin, if you include all the survivors of the Bigmom pirates, we can have 5 or 6 disasters. Understood, brother Kaido. Jin didn't stop at all, he knew all Kaido's past. Kingdom of Giants, Elbaf. The red-haired pirates are holding a grand banquet. Ben Beckman handed Shanks a newspaper. Even Linlin was replaced, but the balance of the sea was maintained. Shanks picked up a large bowl of West Blue wine and clinked glasses with the powerful giant. New World has always been a battle of blood and sword. Even the red-haired pirates have a large fleet and a powerful territory under their command. If you don't have the consciousness to break through mountains of swords and seas of fire, you are not qualified to reach the top. The winner takes all, the loser eats the dust. Donghai, Rog Town. As soon as the cannibal Bartimeo left the port, he called his grandmother. Grandma, what do I need to do to go to the Grand Line? Just follow your heart and sail. Bartimeo put down the newspaper and stood at the bow to wait. Accelerate with all your strength. Target the Great Route. We must follow Senior Yi Zhou as soon as possible. He is already one of the 4 emperors who rule the New World. Ever since Yi Zhou defeated Smoker with one blow in Rog Town, East China Sea. After shocking the entire audience with Conqueror's dominance. Having witnessed this scene with his own eyes, Bartimeo admired his qualifications as a king. Now he is finally going to sea to find his idol. East China Sea, Orange Town, Kokoja Village. Nakigao picked up a newspaper and a reward order. Has the adventure of the Demon King and Nami already shocked the world? She smiled happily and looked at the other dozen reward orders. Today's Demon King pirates are different from the past. Even Momoshiki and the princesses have bounties on their heads. The bounty for all members is over 100 million. Empress, Momoshiki all exceeded 1 billion belly. Betty Smoothie also broke through to 990 million Baileys. The number of crew members who have fought with demonic energy has increased to over 500 million belly. The crew members in charge of the Black Shadow Corps also total over 100 million. Only Garrett, the pet rabbit, managed to reach over a million Baileys. Compared to the later Chopper, Babo was thousands of times taller. But it also made Garrett feel so sad that he couldn't eat the carrots. The Grand Line. Alabasta. King Cobra read the news in the newspaper. He held the Vivi bounty in his hand and couldn't say a word for a long time. The above explained everything about Demon King Yi Zhou. The power of Demon King Yi Zhou. Grand Line. Alabasta, Island of 9 Snakes. New World. Fishman Island, Dressrosa, Beehive Island. Demon King's Fleet. North Blue Vinsmoke Family, Germa 66. Sun Pirates, Kaixia Jinbei. The Pedro Pirates from the Furry Kingdom. Demon King Pirates. The 4 Witches. Empress, Momoshiki, Betty, and Smoothie. Demon Princess. Vivi, Shirahoshi, Rebecca, Violet, Reiju. Shadow Witch. Khalifa, Robin, Nami, Dusky, Bulling, Baby 5, Little Sadie, Bonnie, Tina, Perona. Pet Rabbit. Garrett. The Foundation War is over. The battle between the 4 emperors of all nations resounded throughout the New World overnight. While people were discussing wildly, they also began to recall past rumors. That is, the 3 generals have already been defeated by Yi Zhou. Although they have not shown up yet, there is no doubt about Yi Zhou's strength. The rumors must be the unquestionable truth. At this time, the early morning light is particularly dazzling. After Yi Zhou was hungover, he took a bottle of Wanguo's fine wine to rinse his mouth. He rubbed his eyes before looking towards the sea level. Beehive Island is getting closer. Around the island there is a windless zone created by Shirahoshi using the Poseidon class. There are night bats in the sky, and trolls, warriors, and ninjas are stationed on the earth. All-round defense by land, sea and air. There is no need to send people to garrison at all. I really don't understand the use of Zepha's sneak attack at this time. Lord Demon King, a marine warship has appeared in the windless waters of Honeycomb Island. Violet appeared immediately, followed closely by Rebecca. Garrett also looked into the distance happily, with a telescope hanging around his neck. Marine battleship. Tina looked at the sea level. Her eyes couldn't help but change. Zepha Sensen. Dasky was also surprised when he heard this title. Cultivate half of the Marines and create a Black Arm Zepha of the Marine era. Why did he appear on Beehive Island? At the moment, Dasky and Tina only have one idea. Let Zepha run away. Yi Zhou won't lose anything just because he fought the 4 emperors. Yi Zhou is not human. Shut up, you are pirates now. Yi Zhou spat out a mouthful of wine and rinsed his mouth. Turning to look at Robin aside. How's it going? Is the text analysis of the history of all nations completed? Everything is sorted out, what else does the captain have to say? Robin looked at Yi Zhou with joy. Now that the historical text has been gradually collected, she has a certain understanding of the truth in her heart. These are all obtained since following Yi Zhou. That's okay. Let's get ready. Who is going to fight Zepha? Yi Zhou glanced at the people around him, but he didn't expect that Momoshiki and Tina would be the first to stand up. We must take action. Momoshiki drew her sword. If she let Yi Zhou take action, she could probably kill Zepha with one punch. Want to release the water? Yi Zhou smiled, and the wind and thunder wings spread out. At the same time as the Demon King sailed into the windless zone. He had already appeared on the deck of the marine battleship. Whoosh! A ship full of shadow ninjas appeared, and the sailors stationed here looked around in horror, and soon the whole army was wiped out. Have you logged in yet? Yi Zhou stepped on the deck like a bat. The next moment, he appeared at the port of Beehive Island. Zepha Sensen, it will take some time for the Demon King pirates to return. Aang looked around nervously. As a person with the ability to regress fruit, she can make people look 12 years younger. Using the fruit's ability multiple times can even bring people back to their infancy. The guy has shown up. Zepha turned around sharply. Demon King Yi Zhou. Binz turned around nervously, as a user with the ability of the lush fruit. He immediately let the surrounding plants grow, trying to entangle Yi Zhou. I'm too full from sleep to cover my breath with conquerors. I didn't expect to be discovered so quickly. It seems that I have to leave it open all the time. Quote. Yi Zhou stretched. One after another figures have appeared behind him. Momoshiki, Tina, and Tashigi arrived first. They are different from the others on the Demon King. Although he couldn't rescue Zephyr, he still wanted him to be beaten less. Having witnessed Bigmom's defeat with their own eyes, they already understood how powerful Yi Zhou was. I can't wait to get rid of this scum like you right now. Zephyr's purple hair and sunglasses looked particularly desolate in the sunlight. He only spoke half of what he said. The Black Shadow Corps has taken down all the Marines. Yi Zhou's speed was even more incredible. The rabbit talisman is blessed by the magical energy of the sky and the magical energy of thunder and lightning. Yi Zhou, who used Conqueror's domineering aura to cover up his aura, was silent. One foot stepped on Binzi, and the other hand caught Ain. The retrograde fruit is quite good. If I capture you, I can use the retrograde fruit to keep my crew young forever. You are a pretty good therapist. Quote. Boom. Yi Zhou said this, but he didn't hold back his hand. With one hand, he threw the blue-haired and black-stocked Ain into the house. The house collapsed, leaving only one breath. Vivi quickly stepped forward to treat him. Dasky and Tina didn't dare to delay going to see Ain's condition as soon as possible. The outside world thinks that Yi Zhou has a bad taste. Only they, as crew members, understand. As long as you haven't definitely joined the Demon King pirates, you are still an enemy. Your aura can't even be detected by seeing and hearing hockey. Zephyr looked with concern in the direction where Ain and Binz were defeated. Put away the sadness in your heart. He must brace himself to fight. I didn't expect you to fight against Bigmom. It only takes a day to heal. It seems Garp is right, you were as powerful as rocks back then. Quote. Zephyr walked towards me, trying his best to smile. Rocks, if he was stronger than me, he wouldn't have died. Yi Zhou clenched his fists with 5 fingers and glanced at Zephyr. Do you know, your coming here today will bring disaster to Marine. I will defeat you and imprison you here. Think about it, will Marine headquarters come to rescue you? Yi Zhou walked towards Zephyr, and the distance between the two became closer and closer. Ahem, a mere little thief dares to say such big words. What do you really think justice is? Is it just a joke for you to make fun of? No evil can last forever. Welcome your own failure. Let the rest of your life go to the bottom of Impel Down City and spend the rest of your life in the damp and putrid smell. Black Arm Zephyr, don't kill the general. There were too many legends in his life. Yi Zhou didn't have the slightest pity in his heart, even if the strong man went into decline. You don't deserve to be pitied either. Only by defeating him head-on can you show true respect. When I get the history book, I will definitely write a peak showdown for you. Yi Zhou smiled evilly. Zephyr didn't understand what a history book was, he only saw the unbearable look in Momoshiki's eyes. Hey, Momoshiki, are you taking pity on me? It's really ridiculous that as a Marine, you fell under his command. Where is the justice in your hearts? Also, warring states, Garp, Crane, they are the same. The justice of the Grand Line has long existed in name only. And there has never been justice in the New World. Zephyr roared, armed domineering covering his arms. The robotic arm attacks one step earlier. You betrayed the justice behind you. Boom. Yi Zhou punched the mechanical arm. The sea-floor stone and the explosion happened at the same time. All this is nothing to Yi Zhou, he is not a capable person at all. What's more, with the help of Steel Balloon and Mountain Demonic Chi, this kind of attack can't even break through his defense. Click. The newly replaced mechanical arm shattered. Zephyr had already anticipated that foreign objects would be foreign objects after all. Not to be outdone, his fist collided with Yi Zhou's fist. A shock wave erupted, destroying all the surrounding houses. The view of the messy port finally broadened a lot. Zephyr staggered back a few steps before standing still. He covered his chest with one hand and gasped for air. At a glance, the entire Beehive Island is covered by the Black Shadow Corps. The Demon King has arrived at the port. What he is about to face will be the complete Four Emperors team. But the fact is that Zephyr will never have this opportunity again. His arm was dripping with blood, even as he struggled to breathe to regain consciousness. But consciousness is still blurring. One punch. He couldn't resist even one punch. How powerful is this young man in front of me? Zephyr's consciousness was about to collapse. He picked up the phone and screamed desperately. Warring States. No, save me. As soon as he finished speaking, his body fell to the ground with a thud. The large ones lay on the floor. Lock it up. What black arm Zephyr? After waiting for a while, choose a day to ask for execution. Of course you have to pick a good day. Quote, Yi Zhou said a word and the combat crew came forward and detained Zephyr. That Ain is still alive. Just let her become a therapist and join the medical room. It can keep people at their peak for a long time. Quote, the phone bug on the ground was still shouting. Zephyr, Zephyr, I am Warring States. Don't go to Beehive Island. He's already here. Yi Zhou picked up the phone and answered casually. Are you going to challenge the entire Marine headquarters? Sengoku said on the other side. You can try it. Yi Zhou threw out the phone bug with one hand and did not answer again. Marine headquarters. Since there can be a top war to bring down Whitebeard, he might as well execute Zephyr and challenge the entire headquarters. Ding. Side mission completed. Capture Black Arm Zephyr. Task reward. Swordsmanship, the strongest in the world, the greatest swordsman. For rewards such as swordsmanship and physical skills, Yi Zhou didn't have any interest. He learned too much in his previous life. Hidden mission has been triggered. Bounty is placed on all forces under the ZF in the world, including 5 Elders, Impel City, Marine, CP0, Judicial Island, Draco, World Army, 7 Warlords of the Sea. Task reward. Advanced knowledge, color and domineering. Listen to your heart. Yi Zhou thought for a while and probably remembered this ability. Can sense the inner voices of others. The little girl on Sky Island has an innate ability. The lost Princess Otahime of Fishman Island was not only able to perceive emotions, but could also affect the emotions of others. The Lonely Red can hear the inner words of others, and can gain memories if touched. Listening to your heart is this ability. It can be said to be quite magical. Ultra distance, predicting the future, the voice of all things, plus listening to the voice of the heart. That's no longer human. A god on another level entirely. Is there a reward? Yi Zhou returned to the main hall. Carefully consider how much bounty each person should give. He thought for a while, called the crew, and told the matter. Everyone was speechless. It's always been us who have been rewarded. How can any pirate reward Marine? Bonnie didn't understand, but she was shocked. That's all Bailey and gold. Nami felt sorry for Bailey. Let me do the math. Khalifa has already made a calculation, and this is definitely a difficult calculation. I hate having a bounty on my head the most. It's a good idea to let them have a taste of being targeted. Empress Hancock sat on the side of Yi Zhou's chair and crossed her legs. He is truly a great devil. Betty was helpless. She had never thought of such an operation. However, the GM army does not have so many Baileys to offer bounties with deep pockets. Call Newsbird a bug. Yi Zhou feels that this matter must be left to Morgans. 10 minutes later, on a hot air balloon in New World, Morgans was shocked into a cold sweat. He has never seen any big storms in all these years. I've never seen Yi Zhou do something like this before. Just became the new emperor of the sea. By starting such a vigorous operation immediately, is it going to cause some big incident? 2 minutes later, he received updated information. Zephyr, the former Marine general, was defeated by Yi Zhou on Beehive Island, and his life and death are unknown. Understood. The Demon King felt that being a pirate and being hunted all the time was too troublesome. He simply put bounties on all his enemies. Quote, he thought for a while and called back. I will open a branch to issue bounty orders. Demon King, the reward order is to be issued all over the world. The cost is simply too high. Morgan's plans to take advantage of both sides. Really, won't you get some income from reporting on me? Just take 20% from it. By the way, why isn't this week's share paid yet? Not only did Yi Zhou not plan to spend Bailey, he even planned to make another fortune. It will be sent over soon, please don't worry, Lord Demon King. Morgans was about to burst into tears. He wouldn't have mentioned it if he had known it. The next day, When the whole world was shocked when Demon King Yi Zhou was promoted to the new 4 emperors. Early in the morning, there was another big event that shocked the world. A reward order. Why are there so many today? Sabayati Islands. Rayleigh bought a newspaper early in the morning and a stack of reward orders. The first one is Demon King Yi Zhou. Latest bounty, 4.235 billion Baileys. The second picture is Buddha's Warring States, bounty, 4.5 billion Baileys. The bounty is not low, Warring States, you old guy. Rayleigh's pupils were shocked on the spot, and her hands were shaking in disbelief. He picked up the third one, Iron Fist Garp. Bounty, 5 billion belly. 500 million more than Marine Fleet Admiral. The fourth Akainu Sakaski, 4.7 billion Pele. This kid is actually worth 200 million more than the Warring States period. When Rayleigh said this, she froze in place. How is this going? Has the world changed? Could it be that all Marines stood on the opposite side of the world's government overnight? He returns to the tavern and gives Shaki a stack of bounty orders. I drank a glass of wine to calm down my shock. At the same time, he picked up the newspaper. Shocking. Demon King Yi Zhou is offering a bounty all over the world. Each of the reward orders affected countless people. The 5 elders each have 4 billion belly, and the 7 warlords of the sea only have Tyrant Bear and Mahawk. Hawkeye gave 3.5 billion Baileys, and Tyrant Bear gave 2 billion Baileys. CP0 was also exposed by Yi Zhou in one breath, with a reward attached. The World Army Fleet Admiral Cyborg Kong, who is hiding under the sea, and Magellan and Impel Down City are also offering bounty orders. Crazy. Completely crazy. The most important thing is that every celestial dragon has a bounty of 100 million Baileys. For the first time in history, someone dared to attack the Tianlong people. This is even more shocking than the defeat of 4 emperors Big Mom. As powerful as the 4 emperors, they only occupy a corner of the New World. The Great Line, the 4 Seas, the Red Continent, and the White Sea are all vast. Because Marine has the world's government on its back, it can offer a bounty to pirates. The profession of pirate hunter was also born. Yi Zhou was lucky. He offered bounties to so many sailors in one go, even the 5 elders were on the list. The most important thing is that he put a reward on the Tianlong people. This is a big taboo. Red Continent, Holy Land, Marie Joya. The 5 elders each held their own bounty orders, their hands trembling. Madman, this is a complete madman. Where did he get so many Baileys? Did that guy from Tezzolo give them to him? The point is not about Pele and gold, it's about him touching a taboo. Each Tianlong is 100 million belly, and if you are an elite member of the Tianlong, you can get more than 500 million. But my supreme sharp sword, first generation Ki Tetsu, is still in his hand. The 5 elders all started arguing. A departure from his previous calm and collected style. This incident is really a headache. Want to erase it? The entire Beehive Island cannot be kept. Let's start Buster Call. He's as crazy as Rox was back then. How much force will be deployed, and who will lead it, Cyborg Kong or Sengoku? The 5 elders are determined to take action and wipe the Hive Islands off the map. Recruit new 7 warlords of the sea as soon as possible. Just Hawkeye and Bear are not enough. What about Whitebeard too? Take it while Newgate is overwhelmed. If it had been a few years later, maybe the pacifists could have produced it. Quote. They were getting more and more headaches. Yi Zhou's existence itself is a danger. More and more people will stand up and take action against the Tianlong people. Beehive Island. Yi Zhou woke up and stretched out in a good mood. Sir Captain, the lowest reward we offer is 100 million Baileys for all the celestial dragons. If anyone really dares to come, we will pay a bounty of up to 100 celestial dragons. Do you want to lower the bounty? Khalifa took the note and asked Yi Zhou. Except for the Tianlong people, our lowest bounty is for our elite lieutenant generals who start with 500 million belly. They dare not kill the Tianlong people, and the elite generals of this headquarters cannot defeat them. A bounty hunter with this kind of strength would have been able to survive long ago. Quote. The Empress rubbed Yi Zhou's ears. As if thinking of something, he said, there used to be a very famous marine hunter. Mahawk. Ain wiped the tears from his eyes and stood up from the corner. Ding. Hidden mission has been triggered. Bounty is placed on all forces under the ZF in the world, including 5 elders, Impel City, Marine, CP0, Judiciary Island CP9, Holy Knights of the Dragon People, Future Kingdom Science Force, World Army, 7 Warlords of the Sea. Task Reward. Advanced Knowledge, Color and Domineering. Listen to your heart. Yi Zhou yawned. He beckoned the weeping Ain to stand. Background tip. Host has obtained a large share of the shares from the News King Morgans and the Golden Emperor Tezzolo, and has seized the power of Happy Street and Ocean King, becoming a veritable dark overlord. The main mission has been started. The strongest Shichibukai, Marine Hunter, the world's greatest swordsman, the 2 major titles Hawkeye Mahawk has obtained, defeat him and win the title. Task tip. Let the world understand who is the real Marine Hunter. Task Reward. Penku Treasure Box Perfect Edition, permanent item. Yi Zhou glanced at a lot of data on the task panel. Fortunately, I didn't see the word chain. My mood improved a lot instantly. What should I use Penku's treasure box for? To seal myself. Yi Zhou felt that this mission reward was definitely the most useless one. Does he need to seal it? There is an introduction column for mission rewards. Driven by curiosity, Yi Zhou pointed it away. Penku Treasure Box Perfect Edition. The sealed objects will not be restricted, the devil is just one of the choices, the quota is 0/8. The perfect version is indeed different. There are no restrictions on its use. You can seal 8 people at will. Who to seal? Yi Zhou hasn't gotten the Penku Treasure Box yet, and is thinking about how to use it. I am 5 elders, or Kaido. The most important thing is that there are special notes inside, which can lead you to the world of pirates. All the skills and knowledge Yi Zhou learned in his previous life. They all gained the characteristic of photographic memory by completing the main mission. So keep it all in mind. Does the fact that Penku's box is a permanent item mean it has the same properties as it does? What will be the final reward in the world of pirates? Yi Zhou couldn't help but think, demonic energy, domineering energy, or the Black Shadow Core. It made no sense to him when he thought about it. There is still a long way to go for Zudian to play, but in the end it will be irreversible and permanent rewards. Penku's box is just one of them. Lord Demon King, can you let Binsi and Zephyr Sensen go? Ain stood up and she took a few steps. The high heels made a crisp sound. I sat in the corner of the room like this all night. The black silk stockings were not replaced with new ones, and the clothes smelled of sweat. People outside call me the devil, but I'm actually a very kind person. As long as you surrender to me, I can let Binsi go first. As for Zephyr, it depends on your performance as a crew member. Quote. Yi Zhou sat on his throne, crossing his legs and looking confident. Are Zephyr Sensen and the others okay? When Ain heard this, he felt as if he had found a glimmer of hope. Show her. Yi Zhou raised his chin with one hand. The phone bug in Khalifa's hand projected a picture. Inside were Zephyr and Bins. After receiving medical treatment, both of them were fine. Lord Demon King, please let Binsi go first, I am willing to stay. But if we want to rescue Zephyr Sensen, what should we do? Ain's expectant gaze did not make Yi Zhou feel much tenderness. He is the Demon King, whether it is demonic energy or Conqueror's Haki, the Black Shadow Core. All of them subtly strengthened his evil spirit, and the foundation he has accumulated throughout his life has also increased his courage. Momoshiki, Tina, and Dusky stepped forward to help Ain and wipe the tears from her eyes. Simple, if you can persuade him to surrender, just create a force and join the big fleet. What Yi Zhou really wants is to use Zephyr to launch a war that sweeps the new world. Bring down all the overlords of the sea, Marine. Is he evil? Yi Zhou's title is the Demon King. Teacher, there is no way he can become a pirate. That would be equivalent to asking him to die. Ain shook her head. She knew Zephyr's bottom line. Then lock him up and throw Bins to Marine headquarters. Yi Zhou waved his hand. 2 shadow ninjas appeared in the projection, covering Binsi's face and taking him away. Most people would go crazy if they went to the Shadow Empire. It's better to cover your face. My subordinate understands. Ain's slightly curly blue hair fell down under her dull gaze. The blue cloak rolled up around her body and also wrapped her black pointed toe high heels. In front of her was the Demon King Yi Zhou. No matter what the sea says about his hobby. Only when you really face it will you understand how terrifying it is. She made 49 sneak attacks last night and was instantly killed by Yi-Jo for 49 times. All were saved using horse charms. She used to hate pirates, but now she can neither survive nor die. Did you also choose to surrender because of this? Ain looked at his former colleagues. No, he defeated Bigmom with just one punch. Momoshige said helplessly. So is Garp. Dusky added. By joining his large fleet, you seem to be able to come into contact with more truth. Tina handed a piece of information about the Demon King's fleet to Ain. Above are historical texts from many places. If it weren't for the system, it wouldn't be tasked with announcing the historical truth. Yi-Jo had already put Morgans in the newspaper. He just doesn't like doing things without mission rewards. If you have time, why not try more of the wine and food in the pirate world? There are many beautiful scenery and beauties along the way. As long as I live, Zephyr Sensen will never die. Ainri nodded thoughtfully. Not necessarily, it depends on my mood. Yi-Jo said something casually in her ear. It directly silenced Ain. That's right. The one who calls the shots in the Demon King Pirates is not Khalifa, the shipwright's part-time assistant, nor the deputy captain, the first crew empress. But the captain, Demon King Yi-Jo. The evil aura that silently radiated from his body was already incisive. If we say that the 8 demons that dominated the world back then, the masters of the Black Shadow Corps were evil. Yi-Jo is pure evil. He did not act deliberately, but got close to the essence of the character silently. That is the devil who dominates the world. Little ones, it's time to go. Bring me the map. Show me where Hawkeye's Island is. Quote. Yi-Jo took the map and looked for Krikana Island. This is the ruins of a kingdom that was destroyed. There are also a large number of baboons with excellent sword skills living up there. Found it. Everyone is ready. We are going to teleport. Teleport. Nami was drawing a sea chart, and when he heard this sentence, his whole body tensed up. She knew that Yi-Jo could go anywhere through the Black Shadow. But they are not allowed to use this ability. Because apart from Yi-Jo himself, other people are prone to mutations. What happened to the teleportation this time? Eye of Ororo, activate teleportation for all members. Destination, Krikana Island. New target, Mahawk. The perfect version of the props is easy to use and there are no restrictions on its use. The gold necklace around Yi-Jo's neck flashed. All crew members on Hive Island were teleported out. The Grand Line, Marine Headquarters, Marineland. The Warring States period was at a time of worry. 2 shadow ninjas sent Bins here, and then quickly disappeared after removing their masks. Bins, how is Zephyr? Sengoku and Garp appeared in front of him immediately. No one is more worried about this old comrade than them. Zephyr Sensen is in about the same condition as me. But Ain disappeared for a day and a night. It is very likely that he has been poisoned by the devil. Quote. Bins lowered his head sadly. It was all because he was too weak that he was instantly killed by the Demon King. It's not your fault. When you went to Beehive Island, Bigmom has been defeated in his hands. This action was too reckless. It was my fault for not stopping you. Quote. Warring States blamed himself and picked up the newspaper. There was a thick stack of reward orders on the table. Early this morning, 5 elders has fought the phone bug, requesting the strongest buster call ever. On the scale that destroyed the Rocks pirates back then. Just like erasing God's Island, erasing Beehive Island from the map. And he is gathering troops and launching plans and deployments. The only mistake at the moment was that Zephyr fell into the enemy's hands. If I had known, I should have killed him in the Sabayati Islands. Sangwo's forehead was covered with sweat. As a result, decades of their efforts will be in vain. As the current Demon King pirates still on Beehive Island, Warring States looked up at Bins, wanting to confirm the situation. Of course, where else can they go at this time? Bins was confused. What else? It's so early in the morning. Is it possible that the Demon King pirates can still teleport? That's good. Send troops to surround the sea area around Beehive Island. Before the troops are summoned, we must not let the Demon King pirates cause trouble again. This Yi-Jo is so eye-catching. If he is allowed to continue causing trouble, it will only make the world more afraid of him. Krikana Island. Just as Bins didn't expect. The Demon King pirates arrived as promised, and the entire group teleported here. Ain was originally still in Momoshige, and with Tina's support, He appeared here with just one breath. My socks were accidentally scratched by a tree branch. Here it is. Many people are still confused. Shirahoshi is studying how to become a better helmsman. After eating the power fruit, she is a King Kong Barbie who can throw a mountain at will. Escort. Yi-Jo didn't wait for everyone to wake up. Down the throat, the 4 guards, Rebecca, Dusky, Tina, and Violet appeared in front of him. The Empress, Dusky, Garrett, and Baby 5 stood behind him. Robin, Nami was on his shoulders. The entire ship quickly protected the strongest among them. Yi-Jo took a sip of the wine from Beehive Island. Looking around, there are baboons barking everywhere. The baboons were holding swords, and all of them were practicing masters. They even imitated Hidoe and made many knives in a decent manner. My go-to for this trip is the Mahawk. I'll leave these guys to you. Smoothie, Bulling, and Ain are new here, so don't get used to them. Quote. After Yi-Jo said that, he headed towards the palace at the core of the island. Many kingdoms on the sea were razed to the ground. Similar to this kind of desolation, there are definitely not a few civilizations that have been destroyed. As you command, it would not be difficult for the crew behind Yi-Jo to work together to deal with these baboons. After all, it is a standard 4 emperors group. Are you at home, Hawkeye? I'm here to chop you. Yi-Jo walked in the palace and could hear footsteps quietly. The domineering power of knowledge and information covers all aspects, scanning quickly like a radar. Got you. The moment when Haki found Eagle Eye after seeing and hearing it. Hawkeye, who was sitting by the fire and drinking coffee calmly, also looked at it. Unexpected guest. Clatter. The next second, Yi-Jo teleported directly here, and the wind and thunder wings stretched out his wrapped body. The flames also entered the body. I was waiting for a guest today, but I didn't expect that the enemy would come first. Eagle Eyes looked at Yi-Jo calmly. There are many prepared delicacies on his table, as well as a large jar of wine. There is also the word, she, written on it. Yi-Jo saw everything. Your guest is Shanks the Redhead. To be precise, the red-haired pirates. Mahawk stood up, put on his coat and put on his hat naturally. Pull out the number 1 Supreme Sharp Sword, Black Sword Knight. Really, I also want to compete with him. Yi-Jo was holding first-generation Ghost and was just about to take action. A beep sounded in my ears. The main mission has triggered an upgrade. 1 against 2, defeat the red-haired Shanks and join forces with Mahawk. Task reward. Gem of Doom Perfect Version, permanent reward. ... Yi-Jo felt numb. What reward is this? The Gem of Misfortune, whoever gets it will be unlucky. He was stunned and quickly clicked on the introduction. Gem of Misfortune Perfect Version. Brand new upgrade, it can suck away the enemy's good luck and bring luck to the owner. After the Gem of Misfortune became the perfect version, it actually still has this miraculous effect. Yi-Jo's original worries were swept away. What's the point of playing a Mahawk? He put away the knife and sat on a chair nearby. As a pirate, he is still somewhat patient. We agreed to fight 1 against 2, so we must fight 1 against 2. You. Mahawk looked at Yi-Jo in confusion as to why the murderous aura he had just burst out disappeared in the blink of an eye. We won't fight until everyone is here. You want to face an entire red-haired pirate group. Mahawk also sat back calmly. Yi-Jo was not in a hurry, and neither was he. Yi-Jo took a sip of wine and ate some side dishes. Red hair, he will never come back. By the way, your cooking skills are pretty good. Do you cook often? Similar to my cook. Quote. Mahawk originally wanted to say something harsh. Yi-Jo was forced to hold back his words. So, I do it occasionally. Really, Bonnie's barbecue still tastes better than yours. But your bread is really good. Quote. There are also several bottles of fine red wine on the table. This is Mahawk's favorite red wine. By the way, when will the red hair come? Soon. Mahawk turned his head away in embarrassment. Oh, you too. Oh no, do you often have private meetings with their pirate group? Yi-Jo opened the red wine and poured some for himself. Occasionally. Eagle Eye couldn't believe it. Yi-Jo was waiting for the red hair or came to drink. Is this the legendary new 4 Emperors Demon King Yi-Jo? Dare you put a bounty on the world? It seems that a reward of 3.5 billion was issued to him. Your boat has no power source. Do you usually use a night knife to paddle it? Phew. Mahawk felt suffocated. He was even looking forward to the red-haired arrival as soon as possible. Click. Bonnie and others broke into the house through a window. They quickly stood behind Yi-Jo and looked at the palace gate warily. Bang! A group of people stepped into the main hall. The leader was wearing a black cloak with one arm and red hair. Holding the long sword griffin in hand, the powerful conqueror's domination bursts out. Are you here to intercept the scene? It wasn't before, but it is now. Yi-Jo drank all the red wine in his glass. His manic smile could not be concealed on his lips. When I heard that you defeated Bigmom, I was a little surprised. I thought you would go to practice for a while. I didn't expect to meet each other so soon. Quote, the red-haired Shanks looked up. With a gloomy face, Conqueror's domineering power was released without reservation. All the crew members behind him were ready. Oh, how scary. Is this the four emperors? Yi-Jo's Conqueror's domineering power also exploded. Four emperors, aren't you the same? Ban Beckman's gun is also aimed at Yi-Jo, and he will take action as soon as the red hair allows him. What a sea emperor. It's just a title Marine uses to make people angry. I am the Demon King, Marine, Pirates, GM Army, Dark World, and Celestial Dragons. I can take them all. Boom. The blood-red conqueror's domineering energy is impacting like a sea of blood. The powerful shock wave shattered all the glass in the entire fortress. Cracks began to appear on the wall, as if a powerful force field was about to collapse. Boss, this guy's conqueror's dominance is actually a bit interesting. Leikalu took a bite of the barbecue. Although Yi-Jo and the red-haired conqueror's domineering attacks continued, the crew members behind them were equally confident. Even drinks and food between the two. Mahawk, who was sitting on a chair with his legs crossed watching this scene, was not affected. It can be seen that both of them cherish good wine. The ambition is great, so you must have enough strength to match it. The red-haired man looked at Yi-Jo, and their eyes met. Boom. The two men, who remained motionless, had aroused Conqueror's dominance to the extreme. All the baboons outside the fortress fainted and foamed at the mouth. Even the sea outside the island is causing ripples. In terms of the overall strength of the pirate group, you red-haired pirates are not qualified to join forces with Hawkeye. If it is individual strength, I can also beat up everyone present. But in swordsmanship, everyone on the sea is wondering who is stronger, the red-haired Shanks or the hawk-eyed Mahawk. From now on, this doubt will disappear. Because they are not as strong as me. Boom. Purple, blue, and black lightning bursts. Hawkeye's palace was destroyed by the shock wave after the two used Conqueror's haki. At the same time, the shock wave spread across the entire island, and the trees on the entire island were broken in half. Boom. The waves were tens of meters high. The billowing clouds cut in half. Poseidon species in the sea were stunned and floated to the surface. You are very domineering. The red-haired man didn't understand why Yi-Jo's conquerors was so powerful. Not only has he developed the ability to kill with knowledge, but he has also been able to become uniquely powerful by constantly improving his courage. You passed too. Yi-Jo's conqueror's domineering spirit is also kill on sight. It was only because his evil aura and devilish aura became stronger and stronger that he could reach this level. But I have to try again. Yi-Jo clenched his 5 fingers into a fist, tensed his whole body, and poured strength into his throat. I have learned a move that can make humans make the sound of Huang Zhang Da Lu. It is necessary for the human body's qi to sink into the dantian and then release it. I have spent my whole life only reaching the point of transforming my energy. The legendary inner strength of Junqi is still out of reach. It wasn't until I mastered Haki that I realized that all it takes is mastering the skills. It turns out they are all the same. Quote, Yi-Jo sinks his domineering energy into his dantian. Armed colors, conquerors all melted into his throat at this moment. Moistening his throat, he looked at the heavily armed red-haired pirates in front of him. What are the limits of domination? I haven't reached my limit yet, if that's possible. I would like to see the power of the Demon King. Quote. The red-haired man held the sword and stood still. He was already ready to activate his tyranny. Is there really anyone in this world who can surpass his conqueror's domination? Yi-Jo stood still and merged Conqueror's domineering power with the armed domineering power. Lion roar kung fu. He drank from his throat. The power turned into a shock wave was released with him as the core. This move is similar to Conqueror's scream when Bigmom goes crazy and loses its mind. The difference is, Yi Zhou has truly practiced, taking the initiative to concentrate his power on one point and release it. Boom! His domineering energy seemed to be condensing into a lion's head at this moment. It's just that this invisible breath swept the entire place instantly after being released. The castle collapsed in an instant. The domineering power is multiplied and amplified several times. The red-haired man originally thought that his conqueror's dominance was at its peak. I didn't expect it could go further. Also, conquerors released with a roar. Bigmom will probably wake up from Yi Zhou's shock here. The red-haired pirates are known as the Iron Wall Pirates, and every cadre is extremely powerful. How could the ordinary conqueror's domineering power make them afraid? Even if he is as strong as the redhead, after the conqueror's dominance is released. Stunning the general of the headquarters is the limit. Boom! The cloak was shattered, and their domineering power was unstoppable. Boss, how did his conqueror's haki become so strong all of a sudden? The road of lackey is in disgrace. There is no way to practice conquerors in this world, only to continuously increase your courage. But the Demon King's conqueror's haki has found a way to use it that is different from that of domination and killing. He can further enhance its power through sound waves. The red-haired Shanks saw through the reason. The most terrifying thing was in Yi Zhou's lion's roar. He can only protect himself. Once he releases conqueror's haki and charges, he will break his defense. So does everyone else. Except for Deputy Captain Ben Beckman, Combatant Lachalu, and Sniper Jesus Bu. The rest of the cadres can't withstand the powerful conqueror's domineering attack from the lion's roar. Can it further enhance conqueror's dominance? Hawkeye Mahawk finally understood what a terrifying monster was in front of him. It's time for some people to step aside. Yi Zhou just finished speaking. Only 4 of the red-haired pirates are still standing. One by one the crew members fell. The remaining Ben Beckman, Lachalu, and Jesus Bu were also frightened. They actually spent a lot of domineering energy to stop the lion's roar just now. It's not a shock, it's not wrapped around the fist, and it's not a mask of one's own aura. It is a highly targeted conqueror's domineering attack. As this move called Lion's Roar, the red-haired man looked at Yi Zhou and asked seriously. He was sure that Yi Zhou's achievements in conqueror's domineering spirit were more terrifying than his own. Yes, the lion roars. Not only will it make enemies dizzy, it will also make you slightly dizzy. Quote, Yi Zhou patted his head, and his whole figure expanded rapidly. The body of the Holy Lord, the body of the Demon King, the steel balloon, the demonic energy of the mountain, and all other physical powers are fully activated. Holding the supreme sharp sword first generation Kitetsu, the red-haired eyes changed again. That knife is from the 5 elders. It's mine now. Yi Zhou wrapped his armed color haki and conqueror's haki around the sword. The tall body creates an invisible sense of oppression. You have so many secrets. The red hair pulled out Griffin and faced the enemy with all his strength. You are not qualified. Yi Zhou looked at Eagle Eye and motioned for him to take action too. Hey, this guy doesn't think so. Lachalu covered his chest in pain. Just like the rumors, powerful and crazy. What Beckman said was exactly what all the strong men in the sea said about Yi Zhou. Emperor of the Sea, the world's greatest swordsman. I decided to fight 1 against 2. Yi Zhou's smile made Red Hair and Eagle Eye draw their swords at the same time and said in unison. Your lion roars, but you can hear the sound of my sword. Your lion roars, but you can hear the sound of my sword. Use your sword skills to make your decision. Yi Zhou drew his sword, as did the red-haired Shanks and the hawk-eyed Mahawk. But they all have absolute confidence in their swordsmanship. I don't think Yi Zhou can fight 1 against 2. I think so too. Hawkeye saw that the red-haired man had previously used Conqueror's haki to compete with Yi Zhou. He took the lead and tried Yi Zhou's kendo strength again. The blade of the black sword is pitch black, and it gives off a powerful feeling of swordsmanship that dominates the world. Cut out with 1 sword. Yi Zhou appeared next to him. Holding a sword in one hand, first-generation Kitetsu came and collided with Kurotuya. The 2 swords were separated by the air, and their domineering power was almost the same. They are all the strongest swordsmen in the world. So if we want to compete for a winner, either relying on personal insights or purely comparing strength and speed, When all active skills and passive skills are the same, whoever has stronger basic attributes will inevitably have stronger skill power. Boom! The slash in the air shattered the sky, and the dark clouds dispersed. The waves were cut in half by this shock wave. Hawkeye's failed sword earlier also reduced a mountain to the ground. Hawkeye didn't hold back from the temptation from the beginning. A truly strong person knows how much strength he should use to compete with his opponents. Boss, is his swordsmanship so strong? The gun in Jesus Boo's hand did not fall down and was always aimed at Yi Zhou. But he only aimed at Yi Zhou's form. His aura has been hidden by, killing by sight and hearing. At least not weaker than me and Mihawk. The red hair's comment proved everything. If your swordsmanship is not weaker than the two of them, doesn't that mean you are at the top of the world? Can one person really maximize all the powers? According to legend, his strongest ability is the copy fruit. Van Beckman said cautiously, "This is the first time I've seen someone more terrifying than the boss conqueror's domineering figure." Lachalu said very unhappily, "To know, Yi Zhou's Demon King pirates are still on guard without any injuries. Now that the whole group is fighting, even the powerful red-haired pirate group will be defeated. His lion's roar can make conqueror's domineering even more powerful. You can even add armed color domineering. But the more this happens, the more excited I am." Quote. The red-haired man was not afraid, but wrapped his two-color domineering energy around Griffin. Quickly walked towards Yi Zhou. He jumped up and slashed out with his sword. "Mihawk, you've had a battle. It's my turn." The moment Hong raised his sword, Mihawk felt unhappy. He himself was competing, although Yi Zhou only used domineering and sword skills. With the advantages of physical fitness and basic attributes, it caused a certain sense of oppression on him. But on the sea, there is always someone better than you in every aspect. Bigmom's defense, Kaido's physical strength and recovery, Whitebeard's power, and the red-haired conquerors. It is precisely because the enemy is strong that we must continue to become stronger. Wow! When the sword energy met, an X was directly split into the earth. The red hair was surprised by Yi Zhou's speed and strength. He actually suppressed him. No wonder Bigmom can be suppressed. The information is correct. Shanks was surprised and slashed out with his sword again. Unexpectedly, Yi Zhou could still block it easily. On the contrary, after Yi Zhou slashed out with his sword, he seemed to have some difficulty blocking it. "You are one-armed, but you still have some flaws, and you suffer from swordsmanship," Mihawk said, standing in front of the red-haired man to fight Yi Zhou. He wasn't trying to save the redhead. He just felt Izuashi's rare strength in swordsmanship and wanted to become stronger. One arm is enough. The red-haired Shanks knows what Hawkeye is thinking, and he will not give in to such a good opportunity. "You two should go together. In a one-on-one fight, no one is my opponent." Quote. After Yi Zhou competed, he perfectly adapted to his own kendo strength. Regardless of the red hair, Hawkeye blocked all the swords and fought back one by one. Unknowingly, the two were joining forces to fight against Yi Zhou. That's right, with the same skills. Yi Zhou is fighting one against two with stronger basic attributes. The boss has been suppressed. Laikalu helped the crew members to the wall and looked at this scene in disbelief. Stronger than Hawkeye, Mihawk and red-haired Shanks can only take attacks together, and it becomes increasingly difficult. That guy is using his sword skills to suppress the two strongest swordsmen on the sea. Van Beckman took a puff of cigarette and felt that this scene was like a dream scene. It's so close that I can't even trace the form. Jesus Bu could not trace Yi Zhou's breath. Now even its figure is so fast that it is invisible. Only afterimages of the three were left, and two of them were still retreating. Only the aftermath of the battle continued to erupt, setting off waves of turmoil. It's boring. Yi Zhou no longer wastes time. He hit the sword with all his strength and knocked back the red hair, and then knocked back Hawkeye with a backhand sword. The two of them are going to lose. They were panting, having expended a lot of domineering energy and physical strength just now to block Yi Zhou's sword. It's been so many years since I've had such a fun battle. The result was that they were suppressed unilaterally. Can you be stronger with both arms? Yi Zhou looked at Shanks boredly. Are you humiliating me? If it were just this, it would not be enough. Quote. The red hair looked at Yi Zhou with a smile. He would not be angered by such words. I admit that your swordsmanship is very strong, but as a swordsman, why should you attack other people's weaknesses? Hawkeye looked at Yi-Jo dissatisfied. It's not my weakness, Mihawk. The redhead shouted to Hawkeye heartlessly. Shut up, Shanks. Hawkeye retorted, and the black knife in his hand became more stable. You do your best, and the three of you will join us. Yi-Jo hasn't had a hearty battle for too long. Even within the scope of swordsmanship, he didn't want to end in such a boring way. He stepped forward and extended his hand. The horse charm was activated, and the red-haired man's severed arm was glowing with light. Then Shanks looked at his left arm in disbelief. One arm is recovering visibly to the naked eye, and it is healed in the blink of an eye. He looked at the lost arm in disbelief. The double-sword swordsman who had faced Whitebeard Newgate once again held the sword with both hands. Can even the lost arm be restored? Hawkeye was startled. The red-haired man looked in surprise. Is this the fruit ability you copied? It doesn't matter, you five can take action together, I don't want to waste time. Yi-Jo mentioned first-generation Guiche and took Smoothie's sword. Holding a sword in both hands, he opened his arms and said, I will use Lu Xuan's Ji Yu Ying sword technique and Zhang Sanfang's Tai Chi sword technique. If your sword cry can't even last 60 seconds, then everyone will have their arms cut off. 60 seconds. Yi-Jo looked at the red-haired Shanks, Hawkeye Mohawk, Ben Beckman, Jesus Bu, and Lachalu. Before that, he had knocked down the other crew members of the red-haired pirates with his lion's roar. What is Tai Chi swordsmanship? Mihawk heard the key word. Ji Yu Ying's swordsmanship. This is the first time the red-haired Shanks has heard of this sword technique. Head, I'm going to shoot. While Jesus was talking, Lakilu and Ben Beckman had already walked up to Yi-Jo. Let's begin. Next is a 60-second battle with the strongest in the world. The redhead totally confirmed. If Yi-Jo used power other than swordsmanship and domineering power, he would definitely be the strongest in the world. Saw. Yi-Jo's figure disappeared. Everyone was shocked. Is this his real speed? Cut out with one sword. Jesus Cloth's gun broke with a sound, and his whole body flew out. Boom. Lajalu took action quickly and punched Yi-Jo where he drew his sword. However, what he hit was just an afterimage. Turn the blade over and look left and right. Laikalu was defeated by a powerful blow. His stomach was dented from being hit, and he spit out a mouthful of blood. The armed color domineering force was broken open. The balloon-like body turned into a cannonball and flew out. Fast and powerful, Beckman appeared in the other corner first. Yi-Jo swung his sword and slashed out, trying to cut off his gun sword weapon. The red hair took advantage of the situation and appeared, slashing out with his sword. Yi-Jo fought back, and Mihawk's sword quickly appeared behind him. Base, armed colors and conquerors wrapped around the hands. Yi-Jo used his hand as a sword to block the eagle-eyed black sword from a distance. Use your hands as swords, Tai Chi Xiaoyang. Click. Ben Beckman raised his head in surprise. His gun broke into two halves. Yi-Jo can not only use his hands as swords, but also his whole body. Transform your body into a sword, Tai Chi Sun. The visual quality of this scene is the ultimate. 4 tails is 1,000 pounds. Leverage your strength to fight. Yi-Jo's fist and sword changed, and his domineering energy reversed in the air. Hawkeye and Red Hair, who were originally blocking him, actually slashed their swords at each other. Boom. The evenly matched sword directly triggered bursts of shock waves. But it has nothing to do with Yi-Jo. When he looked back, there were only 2 people left who had suffered a loss. Hancock, how long did they last? Exactly 60 seconds. The Empress said infatuatedly, her eyes turning into peach hearts. Barely passed. Yi-Jo picked up the wine on the table and drank it all. The system beep sounded in his ears. Ding. The main mission has been completed. The strongest Shichibukai, Marine Hunter, the world's greatest swordsman, the 2 major titles of Hawkeye Mihawk are obtained, defeat him and win the title. Task Reward. Penku Treasure Box Perfect Edition, permanent item. Yi-Jo had a treasure box of Lubin craftsmanship in his hand out of thin air. There are also hexagram patterns on it, but it is not complicated to use. All it takes is a thought to turn it on. The main upgrade mission has been completed. 1 against 2, defeat the red-haired Shanks and join forces with Mihawk. Task Reward. Gem of Doom Perfect Version, permanent reward. This green gem seems useless. In fact, After upgrading to the perfect version, it will only bring misfortune to others. And seize good luck to increase your own gain. Yi Zhou completed 2 tasks in one go, and it was also the first time he received a permanent reward in the pirate world. Side mission has started. Ask Hawkeye to quit 7 warlords of the sea. Task tip. If you don't agree, just kill him. Mission reward. Pirate gloves perfect version. Yi Zhou didn't understand what the use of this thing was. Isn't it just like an automatic pilot that can search for treasures? Pirate gloves perfect edition. Being given consciousness by the owner, gaining combat skills, and finding treasures are just one of the functions. Really upgraded. The original glove consciousness is erased and can be given its own consciousness. And can fight. Yi Zhou thought about it and didn't feel that he was lacking anything. What does he want now? Forget it, just treat it as a toy. Anyway, after wearing the Shiva's bracelet, there are a total of 6 hands including those caused by the demonic energy of the moon. 2 wearing bracelets and 2 wearing gloves are not empty. Anyway, in front of Yi Zhou are the defeated red-haired pirates and the world's greatest swordsman. The red-haired man stood up reluctantly, his hair messy and stained with sweat. Hawkeye's eyes were full of fighting spirit, but he no longer had any energy left. Defeated. This battle can be said to be a complete defeat. In the new world, a king is really born. His personal combat power is superior to that of the 4 emperors, and is even enough to rival the emperor's group on his own. Have a drink. Yi Zhou glanced at the dishes on the table. Without fried peanuts, it won't go well with wine. His words made Hawkeye's eyes change. Full of caution, he blurted out, "Do I need to add salt when frying?" "Sprinkle a little when soaking, and sprinkle a little more after taking it out of the pot." Yi Zhou answered righteously, "Captain, do fried peanuts need to join the Demon King Pirates Thursday luxury lunch?" Chef Bonnie picked up the small notebook and said seriously, "Unnecessary." Yi Zhou dropped a piece of beef in his mouth and took a moment to recover. "I'm executing the loser. What kind of salt are you taking with me?" He patted the table with hatred. He turned around and picked up the sword. "Mahawk, you lost. Quit 7 warlords of the sea." Hawkeye didn't hesitate. I wanted to chop him again." Yi Zhou sat back on the chair. He didn't expect that Hawkeye would agree so decisively. Becoming 7 warlords of the sea is all about finding ways to become stronger. At that time, there was no opponent worthy of my sword practice in the sea. And you are undoubtedly the most powerful swordsman in this sea. Even if you don't mention it, I will go to sea again. Defeat you and learn Ji Yu Ying sword technique and Tai Chi sword technique. Mahawk has no frustrations, only the desire to become stronger. Red-haired Shanks on the side. Holding Griffin in both hands, he looked at Yi Zhou in disbelief. Immediately his eyes were filled with admiration. "I will not join the Demon King's fleet. But I will work hard to become stronger until one day I can rival you. Let's establish another pirate alliance to repay today's kindness." Yi Zhou felt that there were 2 old men in front of him. "Are you 2 following the wind? A man is leaving the 7 warlords of the sea to become an apprentice in disguise. The one who said the toughest words ended up being qualified to establish an alliance. Just quit 7 warlords of the sea. Don't wander around on the sea when you're done. Buy a good boat, don't row it yourself." The knife was soaked in water and rusted, and it was pitch black. "Is it a black sword forged with domineering energy? You don't know." Whoosh. Yi Zhou stood up. He wasn't going to stay the night because the wine was gone. "Get ready to go back to camp." Yi Zhou found that Aurora's eye was more useful than the teleportation fruit and the door-to-door fruit combined. "Wait a minute." The red-haired man hesitated to speak. He was convinced that he had lost. "But now I still feel that I owe Yi Zhou a lot of kindness." "Do you have a system for your swordsmanship?" The art of swordsmanship has a long history. Pass on martial arts. Red Hair and Hawkeye had never heard of this faction's swordsmanship. Where is Xuanwu Kendo? Is it an ancient civilization that was wiped out by the celestial dragons? One with heaven and earth. Yi Zhou put his hand on the hilt of first-generation Gui Tei's sword. He looked back and left a meaningful sentence. "Wherever there are people, there are rivers and lakes, and the sea is not a river and lake. It's a pity that I became a sweeping monk early on. Being invincible is so lonely, who can break my ribs?" He lamented his life of compassion and compassion. immediately turned into a ray of light and disappeared from the island with the Demon King pirates. Appearing again, it was already on the huge Beehive Island. After experiencing the battle, the crew quickly calmed down. Everyone began to perform their own duties. Such a war was a legend to outsiders. To them, that's completely normal. The first thing the Empress did, which was already commonplace, was to make a phone call to Nine Snake Island. Ask them to send souvenirs as soon as possible. Shirahoshi and Vivi followed suit and also told their families to send some good things to the captain. Bu Yuling is working hard. She wants to record next to Yi Zhou immediately. In Yi Zhou's words, this is called recording history and leaving it to future generations. Next to it is a beverage shop, where the former star smoothie is squeezing juice. In a nursing home not far away, Ain was giving Yi Zhou a massage. The three quickly adapted to their new jobs. What bigmom, red hair, eagle eyes. Have you ever endured the Demon King's great battle? The Tianlong maid brought the watermelon juice, and Yi Zhou nodded with satisfaction. Are there many beautiful celestial dragons on your Red Earth continent? There are quite a few, and concubines are just one of them. The celestial dragon maid lowered her head in fear. Okay, grab more some other time. There are so many crew members in the pirates, so employee benefits cannot be bad. At least one person must have a maid who is responsible for daily life. Quote. Krikana Island. In a dilapidated palace, Redhead, Hawkeye and others were drinking coffee. There was no way, Yi Zhou drank all the wine alone. Zhonghu. In his eyes, is the vast sea just a river and lake? Eagle Eye felt incredible and admired Yi Zhou's courage. The Xuanwu swordsmanship is really terrifying. It seems that the rumors about his unique physical skills are true. Ben Beckman knew it was time to switch guns. If I were 15 years younger, I might become a disciple. The redhead smiled and raised a cup of coffee instead of wine. He knew that it was time for him to step down from his position as 4 emperors. Ding. Side mission completed. Hawkeye exits 7 warlords of the sea. Mission reward. Pirate gloves perfect version. Yi Zhou rubbed his eyes. He was sleeping, but he didn't expect to be woken up by the system notification sound. The main mission has been started. Please go to the future kingdom after a week's rest, invite Vegapunk number 2 Lilith and No. 6 York to become new crew members and arrange positions. Task reward. Copying medicinal powder, Xiaoyu version. ... One represents Lilith, who represents evil, and the other represents York, who represents eating, drinking, and littering. But Vegapunk's 6 clones share one brain, and their experiences and knowledge will be synchronized. What to bring? Be a Vegapunk monitor. Yi Zhou thought to himself that if there was no solution after bringing it back, he would send these 2 people to look at the gate. The troubled Yi Zhou then looked at the mission reward. By copying the powder, you can increase your own number, and your strength will also increase. This thing is equivalent to an unlimited combat power. What's more, it's still the wrong version configured by Xiaoyu. But after all, it is medicinal powder and can be used up. Nami came to Yi Zhou holding a stack of newspapers. Hey, you didn't even say hello when you came in. Yi Zhou was helpless. What happened to his crew? Should I tear down his bedroom door? Chua. Rows of palms with slender fingers grow directly from the quilt. It grows. The newspaper in Nami's hand was also passed over. Robin. Yi Zhou looked around, his expression domineering and fixed. It turns out that Violet is using the stare fruit to cooperate with Robin. Captain, the new world has changed. What's the big deal? Yi Zhou first picked up the reward order and took a look. Oops. The bounty for all members of the Demon King pirates has been increased by 200 million belly. He himself even broke through to 4.78 billion Baileys. And Mahawk, who was originally rewarded by Yi Zhou, once again won the title of Pirate Hunter. Hawkeye also has a bounty on his head from Marine. Got the same 3.59 billion Baileys. Going to sea. Yi Zhou dropped the reward order and flipped through the newspaper. Mahawk returns to the sea and quits the 7 warlords of the sea. Big event. 7 warlords of the sea exists in name only, and insiders revealed that they may be recruiting again. Red-haired Shanks announces he is no longer emperor of the sea. The red-haired territory has all been replaced with the pirate flag of the Demon King's fleet, and the secrets behind it are still being discovered. Yi Zhou in front had already expected it. After all, the mission rewards are sent to the system backpack. What he didn't expect was that the red hair would no longer fight for hegemony of the sea. Yi Zhou picked up the second newspaper. The three pillars of the New World are Kaido of the 100 Beasts, Whitebeard Newgate, and Demon King Yi Zhou. Who is the strongest in the world? Informed sources once again revealed that the Demon King is suspected of landing on an isolated island to face the red-haired pirates and Mihawk. Shocking news, the news is false. There is no evidence that the Demon King's fleet left Beehive Island that day. If another person breaks the news and a mysterious insider gives accurate information, he will be the one who gets beaten. Yi Zhou picked up the third newspaper. Marine Sengoku publicly announced that it will conduct a world conscription, expand the 3 generals to 5 generals, and once again summon the 7 warlords of the sea. Lekulu announced that he had been beaten. This is true. I hope this newspaper will not be ungrateful. Thank you for the invitation. Morgans, the person in charge of this newspaper, has paid Lackey's publishing fee, which is legal and legal. The red-haired autograph confirms, I am no longer 4 emperors. ... Speechless. Yi Zhou glanced at the newspaper and saw that all of this was printed overnight last night. In order to make money, Morgans printed 3 editions in one night. So dedicated. Grr, the phone bug rings. Yi Zhou stood up and walked to the restaurant to have breakfast. Today's breakfast was very healthy and not greasy at all. It's actually a perverted spicy hot pot. Yi Zhou answered the phone and rinsed a piece of hairy belly in it. Lord Demon King, this is Morgans. We made a lot of money last night, Bailey will call you soon. Lord Demon King, are these news true? Are the Redhead and Hawkeye just rubbing off on each other? If so, the villain will immediately publish new content to refute it. Morgans knows the hot spots so well. Don't call me if you have nothing to do. You have to rest early in the morning. Yi Zhou hung up the phone and realized that the tripe had been cooked. Captain, at least 7 islands have greeted us this morning. They were once protected by the red-haired pirates. Now ask how many pele we need to pay. Quote, Khalifa asked seriously, she was not very interested in food. In fact, Khalifa is also a collector, but she likes socks and high heels. Send more specialties, and even better if there's wine. Send pele. Am I like the one who needs pele? Who are you looking down on? Yi Zhou glanced at the plate of tripe in front of Garrett. This rabbit only knows how to chew radishes, and its nutrition is not balanced at all. Yi Zhou took the opportunity to take away a plate of tripe and brushed it all. Tashi wiped the flowers on his hands, as well as Xiaoyi Shiger. Now, she has become a dual-sword swordsman, just to become stronger. When first saw that Marine wanted to recruit troops from the world and created the 4th and 5th generals, there was no surprise. There was even a sense of astonishment. She has become accustomed to life as a member of the Demon King Pirates. After staying here for only a short time, the 4 seas were pacified by their own forces. Vinsmoke, who was originally killing people under the protection of the World Conference, has become more at ease. The Fish-Man Island has no more disputes and is under the sunshine again. Those whose souls were taken away in all the nations were restored to life. The BIGMOM pirate group, one of the 4 emperors, died and escaped. On the other hand, Marine has never really stepped into the New World in these years. The forces under Yi Zhou's command only need to hand over wine and specialties. Of course Yi Zhou has his own business and a lot of income. But compared to the heavenly gold given to the Tianlong people, this is a sense of security that can only be dreamed of. Dasky didn't understand why she was blinded before. Momoshiki, Tina, and Ain also had the same idea as her, but they were also worried about Zepha's safety. New World has always been an undercurrent. They were just a lonely boat in the rolling waves. If they hadn't met Yi Zhou, they would never have been able to dock in their lifetime. What are you thinking about? Yi Zhou conveniently took away the plate of beef in front of Dasky and threw it into the hot pot. No. Nothing. Dasky's face turned red. Oh, you're not thinking that it's nice to have me. Or do you want to secretly learn my swordsmanship? Yi Zhou ate the tripe and beef, and took a sip of the freshly boiled wine. It's okay if the previous mission has a countdown. This time it turned out that the task was delayed and it would take a week before I could go. It's boring, I can't hang out every day, right? Yi Zhou rinsed his mouth with red wine. He appeared in the cage with a snap of his fingers. Zephyr had just finished breakfast and was reading the newspaper. When he saw Yi Zhou, he said angrily, "It's disgusting that your pirate's breakfast is so spicy. You deliberately damaged my throat. Old thing, it would be nice if I gave it to you." Yi Zhou glanced at Zephyr and took the bottle of wine he had hidden behind his back. Seeing this scene, Zephyr was so angry that his liver ached. "What are you doing? This wine is good. It belongs to me." Yi Zhou teleported away instantly. Only Zephyr was left, who was so angry that he had a headache. "Smoothie is a very good drinker, but I also need a winemaker." Yi Zhou stared at the sea and began to look for a winemaker. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.